Meet Linda Little. She's from strategy and podcasting.
See, that's what he wanted to do, guys. That's all. That was his passions right there.
David has been waging a war on the opening of this show.
No, I have been trying to make this show open. This is what happens. I'm
not
like,
saying today's
say
episode.
the line.
I'm not saying today's episode.
I'm talking in general.
This is a multi-month
Yes,
war.
because you take too long
to try to get it right.
Everyone's with me. Everyone's
Who is this everyone? Is this everyone in the room with you right now?
Ben Hosley. He's taking a drink to avoid being on mic. Marie Barty. She swore a vow of silence.
Marie was saying, what about this line? What about this line? It's a collaborative project.
We're all creative collaborators.
We're creative collaborators. This is a space for art above all else.
I just want to say, if you want to talk about us as creative collaborators, cool. But I think something needs to be acknowledged.
What's that?
Like, David and Griffin, you're my boss.
Sure.
Bosses.
That's true.
So that's kind of an imbalanced dynamic.
Well, and also my dad did promise you that you were next in line for VP at BCP. He does not have the power to promise such a thing. In fact, he has no relationship to this business whatsoever, but I do know that's hanging over this episode.
It does sound like the kind of thing your dad might do offhandedly.
Unfortunately.
Just be like, I think you're next in line. Like, just kind of like making conversation.
For VP.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Peter and we have a good relationship on social media.
Absolutely.
I'm always getting those, raise the roof emojis.
He likes the hands raised.
He likes the hands raised.
I stopped getting the hand raises from him. What's up, Pistol Pete?
Wow.
Probably because I stopped faving every single hand raise. Maybe he took the hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means that I'm next in line.
For hands.
Yeah. Well, no, for running all of this.
I feel like it was Father's Day last year. You did a happy Father's Day to Peter Newman, the most supportive Instagrammer, and you did a collage of all the times. My father, for people who don't pay attention,
he loves to hit people with that.
He loves to raise the roof.
Post. Almost anyone on Instagram,
the
if you
prayer
look,
hands.
the top comment is 17 raised prayer hands, right? With no text.
It's a great bit.
It's a great bit, and you posted that, and I showed it to him, and he immediately went, "What is this, making fun of me?"
Oh, Pistol.
He got very defensive and paranoid. And I was like, "We're celebrating you." And he was like, "Okay, but where did those come from?" And I was like, "You posted them. She just saved
Does he
them.
have like a sort of virus in his phone that's just doing
I don't know.
replying to every story?
And then he went like, "Well, okay, if you promised me it was meant as a term of endearment, I think Marie should be next in line for VP."
Yes, and it was meant as a term of endearment.
Oh, your dad's not really a Bruce Campbell, though, I will say.
No,
not really. Not really the guy who would play your dad.
I
no, my dad's got fake Shemp vibes. It's a deep Raimi joke.
Yeah.
Marie?
I did the Leo point at the screen meme when I saw the Bruce
portrait.
portrait.
I did as well.
Yeah, I mean, a nice touch.
I saw this movie with friends of the podcast, Ben David Grabinski, soon to be returning guest, and Mal Smith, and I didn't do it frantically. I very calmly extended my hand because I wanted to watch them notice it, And you
were in 40X.
And
right?
I just saw their eyes scan and then land on it, and we all just started laughing. God, the 40X in this movie. Would you be surprised to hear that a Sam Raimi movie in 40X feels like the closest we've gotten to William Castle in my lifetime?
Sure.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
He is, right. He's a showman of another era. It's true.
And I've been digging into this, but it seems like the Raimi team might have been a little more hands-on in the 40X than a lot of filmmakers.
Who's been digging in?
I've been trying to get answers.
Tom Cruise over here.
But even if...
we got a digger, folks!
Ben doesn't get it.
What's the song in the trailer again? Is it Spoon or something?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's the song in the Digger trailer?
It is Green World by Gorillaz.
Do you know about Digger?
I know it's the Tom Cruise comedy movie.
Yes, ostensibly it's funny. What we've been told.
He plays a digger.
Right.
Who has to save the world?
Shovel man.
A shovel man.
He's a shovel man.
Which we do like. We like that.
Apparently he's in full prosthetics.
I was going to say.
He's in makeup.
If you look at his silhouette in that trailer, there's facial transformations.
What if this is like a stealth Ben Hosley biopic and
the
we
makeup,
don't know about it?
You're saying he's using
that guy. I mean, the pro doer?
I would be honored. I just don't know how long... Like, I don't dig that much that you could make a whole feature out of it.
But digging could be a metaphor,
Right, life's a hole, dig it. That's one of your favorite metaphors.
It is.
You say that all the time.
All
Joseph
the time.
Dirt.
You know,
what
who's
if it were
third billed in that movie?
in Digger? John
It's
Goodman is
Sandra
second bill.
Hüller?
No, it's Goodman. Sandra Hüller is second bill, but
Oh.
Goodman. Could we dig up a nom for Goodman this year? Maybe.
Would you remember?
Yeah, we were trying to get Goodman for our King Ralph show, and he was like, "Sorry,
Right. I'm deep in the hole.
Well, no, but also his
he hurt
part
himself."
is significant
Right.
enough. Yes, that he
Yeah.
broke his knee while filming, and they shut down all of production for like a month.
You do a cruise movie, you're going to hurt a limb somehow.
But
it
I'm
seems.
saying,
yeah.
if John Goodman was the guy behind the desk, giving him the mission in 3 scenes
He
across
wouldn't
the
have
movie,
broken a knee.
and also they would have gone like, "Great, we'll shoot around you for the next month until you're better." Filming shut down because
It is
of his-
Goodman's first on-screen appearance in a film since Captive State.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is Captive State?
It's a bit of a forgotten movie. Not a terrible one. It's sort of
2019?
sci-fi action, sort of low budgety. Yeah, 2019.
It's Rupert Wyatt,
Mm-hmm.
and
the guy
it's
who made Rise of the
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
And one
Uh,
of the ape guys.
why am I blanking on his name from Moonlight? Ashton Sanders
Okay.
Ashton Sanders.
was kind of the lead in it.
Yes, Goodman's sort of a villain,
Goodman
of a
first billed
yeah.
as the sort of bureaucrat, and then who's the female lead of that movie?
Vera Farmiga's in it.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
It's
and
like a
Machine Gun Kelly, Pete Davidson's
oh
first
yeah.
guest on his hit new podcast, which is so good that we're going to pack it up today. So this is the last episode.
David walked into the studio today, just be like, guys, that Pete Davidson video podcast, that non-union talk show it's incredible.
what is this non-union talk show, Marie? They've clearly communicated it's a podcast. It's a podcast that is 36 minutes long, only exists on the Netflix streaming service, is video, and has no audio
RSS feed, yeah,
whatsoever.
no.
They figured it out. We've been doing it all wrong this whole time. We look so foolish.
What does his garage look like?
It looks like an empty room with like some soundproofing shit set up and a couple chairs.
So it doesn't really look like a
No,
garage.
it's not like the Marin
didn't
vibe
lean
of like,
into the
there's a
garage.
billion things on the wall and like, no, it's just like an empty room.
Do you buy that it's his actual garage, or do you think they built a set or rented?
I think it's his actual garage, and I think part of the reason it's being fucking filmed there is they smoked like 4 billion cigarettes over 36 minutes. So they, like, what L.C. Hewitt or whoever Pete's partner is probably like, take that shit out of the house.
He's got a newborn child.
Exactly. Come on, man. I
yes,
don't know.
John Goodman, since 2019, was going back and forth, ping-ponging between the Connors and the Righteous Gemstones.
Right, doing the TV shows he's doing. It's not like he's been
No,
absent from our
But Connors
screens.
would do like a gentleman's 20-plus episodes a season, and Righteous Gemstones was doing 10.
Sure.
He was doing like 30 episodes of television a year as the patriarch.
Connors did 7 whole seasons.
Yeah, it did, brother.
Yeah.
I was there, front row, mixing it up with that crazy crew.
Crazy
But it is wild that
season 7 was just 6 episodes long, so I guess it was a little shake.
Can I share a story that I think is endearing that I heard? Because it's a done matter now. That after season 6, they wanted to end the Connors. They were just like, we think we've hit the end.
The moment's passed, right? Yeah.
No, just have we told all the stories we can tell, whatever. And they broke the news to John Goodman, and he broke down crying and was like, I just love working on the show so much, and I miss these people. And they were so affected by John Goodman's emotion that like a child that you're like trying to get out of the house, they were like, John, what 6 more? How about we just do 6 more? That sounds good, right? Does that make you happy? That they basically renewed it for a mini series because they felt so guilty about making John Goodman sad.
I mean, good for them.
Great for them.
Good for John.
Good for John. But yes, he has been, after decades of being one of our warmest and most welcome screen presences at the movie theater.
At the movie theater.
7 years without a Goodman.
What's this podcast?
This podcast.
This codpast.
This codpast.
Is called.
Which last year was a lot about John Goodman.
Yeah, we had a little because he had the Coens.
This year, so far, 0 Goodman on the spreadsheet.
Disaster. Terrible news.
It's a codpast about filmographies. Directors who have massive success early on in their career and are given a series of blank checks to make whatever crazy passion products they want. And sometimes those checks clear and sometimes they bounce. Baby, I forgot the opening line. This is Blank Check with Griffin and David. I'm Griffin.
I'm David.
That's Ben. I'm woman.
Oh, sorry. I was looking up. I'm pretty sure that one of the fake sponsors like I came up with on a past March Madness was Cod Past.
Oh, good.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was it?
So that's what I'm referencing.
Pretty
Yeah?
sure.
Okay.
Pretty sure. So I was checking on that, but yes, hey, it's Ben Hosley. What's up?
Yeah. Hey, it's Marie.
AKA woman, AKA mayor.
I don't
Mare.
like the we
He
got to
doesn't
drop
like that
the
bit.
woman nickname.
No, I love the woman.
You
thing.
love the woman?
Reese Feldman texted me yesterday, listening to the No Other Choice episode, love the woman bit. And I was like,
All
you're
right.
the king of TikTok. I'm the woman of blank check.
Yeah, Ben, it's not a great look that you're publicly.
Why do you hate women?
saying,
I don't
let's
like
get rid
the
of
woman.
No, I don't like that you're being like reduced
A
to
woman?
just the woman. But fine,
You know what?
we'll keep going with it.
No, I thank you. I agree. I'm much more than just woman. However, I do think my identity as woman is important.
It's very important.
I think you're so important.
and we could argue today's movie is about that. to some degree.
It's about underestimating women.
It is. It is.
It is.
In 2021, normal year, we covered the films of Sam Raimi.
That was 2021.
That was 2021.
Wow.
Right?
So
or was it 22?
No,
because I
it's
started
2.
working on the podcast in 2021.
Okay, so then it was 2.
Yeah. So Podcast Me to Hell, our Sam Raimi series was March 2022 to June 2022. We covered his films, talked about Spider-Man and, fucking, Evil Deads and Simple Plans.
One of my favorite filmmakers.
It was kind of a love Raimi.
He was a classic. When he finally makes a new movie, we got to cover him. And they announced that he's doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a normal movie that came out in a normal way, normal amount of time, and was released in 2022. And we did a miniseries to commemorate it. And it had been a long gap. He had slowed way down post in the 2010s.
When you make something
the
as
Quibi.
He did have a Quibi.
He had the
When you-
Quibi thing.
When you make something as good as Hoss the Great and Powerful, you can't just rush into your next project.
I forgot. I was thinking about the Raimi series, and like I did. I wasn't super familiar with his work outside of Evil Dead and Spider-Man, so it was
Sure.
I
enjoyed the Simple Plans and the smaller stuff.
I really like. I
Quick and
hadn't
the Dead.
seen. The Quick and the Dead was great. Hadn't seen Drag Me to Hell because I think I've only maybe within the past 10 years gotten less squeamish.
Used to hide in your coat.
I did used to hide in my coat and didn't I no longer do that.
Such as woman.
But I will say I was remembering Ben shaking his head. I was remembering how I could not finish For Love of the Game. And now I'm just remembering I also could not finish Oz the Great and Powerful.
I would say those are two flawed films. For the Love of the Game, honestly, I mean, a movie that's not very good. You can watch an hour and be kind of like, I got it.
All I remember about that movie is that he fixes a tire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's their meet cute.
I basically remember I like the baseball stuff more than the romance
The
stuff.
baseball stuff is so beautifully shot. But
Right.
Oz the Great and Powerful is dire. And it
Oz the
also
Great and Powerful is just
sucks
a
that you
tough watch.
zoom out and you're like, we got one Sam Raimi movie
in the whole decade.
the whole decade. And we've gotten 2 in the 2020s, which already means we're way ahead. And the fact that one of them is such a kind of like pure blast of peak Raimi return to form, in my opinion, is thrilling. Today we're talking about Send Help, the new 20th Studios. I always forget what the new name is.
20th Century Studios.
20th Century Studios
20th
release.
Century Studios.
Send Help, a Sam Raimi film that it is my great pleasure to announce to our listeners fucking rules.
You're very happy about this movie.
You know who else was?
Oh, I mean,
Fucking love this shit.
Bing bong, bing bong.
Ben sent our producer Ben,
Let's just
who we love,
let Ben say it. Because
sent a great text.
Marie, Ben, and I all see it at separate showings at separate theaters.
That's true. You guys
we
we all scattered to the winds.
Yeah.
But around the same time, so we get out of the theater and we're all kind of sharing notes in the text. And before I even turn my phone on, I had the thought that then is greeted by Ben already having gotten there a couple minutes earlier.
Yes. So I text, I love Linda, our main character. And then I, in all caps, send, everything works out.
it is the rare movie where Ben wouldn't have done anything better.
No, I was with Linda the whole time.
Not a couple decisions she makes where you're like, okay, Linda,
Perfect
maybe.
across the board.
Okay, perfect across the
I
board.
might have talked the fiance like out of, searching the island, send her off, maybe.
Sure.
Now, this is a reference-
Other ways to handle that, I suppose.
Basically-
Versus murdering her and her accomplice.
Any movie.
That poor guy.
I know.
He did not deserve to take
No,
a
he
head
really
didn't.
off
Fruit
a
on the
mountain. I know.
We're going to get deep into spoilers here. Any movie.
Well, yeah.
Any movie where something goes horribly awry after people make like a big move, right? A big play. Ben always defaults to, if it had been me, this would have ended with me owning an island. It all would have
Absolutely.
worked out.
Yeah.
Do we remember on which episode that bit originated?
Simple plan, right?
Simple
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
It's full fucking circle.
Yeah.
If I had found that bag of money, the movie would have ended with me owning an island. No fucking moral struggles. No inner searching of who am I.
Well
No
thought out.
Disillusion of marriage.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what is her department, Linda?
Strategies and planning.
That's what I'm all about, baby. Strategy and planning. And it would have worked out for me. Absolutely.
David, you saw this like 2 weeks ago.
I saw it. Yeah, it was screened for me at the Disney headquarters.
It's very
So
nice
where
of
you
Mickey
saw
to
Ellen
spool it
McKay.
up for
Yes,
you.
they have a new screening room in their new. They have like a building.
I
that's in
feel like
Soho.
Ellen McKay would do well in a send help scenario.
Ellen McKay would do very well. She's an alpha. Like, I mean, a secret alpha. You know what I
she's
mean?
secret alpha.
Also, Ellen McKay gets everything done in like 3 days, for better or worse. So like maybe her tenure as senator was short.
Well, also like
but she'd get off the island in like 72 hours.
Ella's big problem is like she's not a great people person. Like she struggles with the interpersonal, but like once you're on the island, that's done with. Like now it's time to just get things done.
As long as she was wearing the sex scarf
Yes.
when the plane went down, she would have been great. You saw this like 2 weeks ago and you were like, it's good.
Yes, I didn't want to color any opinions.
Okay.
I said send help, fun, good.
Because the three of us walked out hooting and
But I don't like
hollering.
I truly do not like to overhype people. I get very, very concerned. It's a trauma going all the way back to my teenage years, and I'm sure you have it too.
Let's unpack that.
Of saying to your friends like, "Oh, this movie rocks," some movie, and then they're like, "Not that good."
Well, that's my Ang Lee Hulk experience.
That's you with Hulk. You with Tron. You had that experience with Tron.
Sure.
You talked to school. You've told me that. Talk to class. into
That's a
watching
more
Tron.
complicated, nuanced story, but sure.
Oh yes, of course. Much like Tron.
Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
complicated and nuanced.
I kind of felt that way with my most recent bench choice about the pizza pie man.
Yeah,
Love
I
you to
love you to death.
Yeah.
No, I think we all were thrilled by that choice. David,
I mean, at least that movie's like there's so many people. It's weird.
It's
We
got
got to
great
talk about
performances.
Tracy Ullman,
we had a great
Yeah.
time.
who has a great legacy. There's no problems there.
No mistakes have been made. David, are we hotter on this movie than you are, or were you just playing it close to the vest?
I'm a big fan of this movie. I had a
Yeah.
great time. I
Yeah.
don't know. You are very hot in it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I could be hotter.
I
but-
had an unbelievable time, and part of it is just like, I think a thing that makes Sam Raimi unique, and I believe I said this at the time, but like, Drag Me to Hell feels like one of the only movies where a filmmaker who had just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger scaled down and went to their starting point, and it didn't feel like they were forcing themselves to fight with an arm behind their back. Right? Like the frustration for us so often is with guys like Peter Jackson.
Right.
Or
Okay.
even-
Jackson's a good example.
Ang Lee has fallen into a similar thing where
Yes,
I'm
he
like,
has.
my God, you can't just like make a character drama again.
I was trying to think about this for my review because I thought about Tarantino first and foremost, but who's, everyone's always talking about him. So I felt almost stupid invoking him, but you cannot deny that like it's impossible to imagine Tarantino being like, you know what? I'm going to make like kind of like a little gritty movie. You know what? I can do that. I used to do it. Like, it's like, no, he's done doing stuff
For the
like
listener
that.
at home,
I
David
rolled up my
literally
sleeve.
rolled up his sleeves. He was locked in on the
that kind of-
performance.
And then he's also doing the weird arm.
Now
thing.
he's doing
Now
the
I'm
weird
doing
arm
my
thing,
weird
which
arm
of course QT can do as well.
I'm double jointed.
No, but you're right. If he was
Ang
like,
Lee's a
my
good
final
one.
film is 5 guys with guns in a warehouse, people would be like, the fuck are you talking about?
People would maybe be excited, but I just, he's probably not going to do that. And I was trying to think of other, like, because I'm like, Raimi actually is happy, it seems, to be like, well, I just made Multiverse of Madness. That doesn't mean that I require another gigantic scale movie to follow it up. I am happy to slum it with a silly script. I'm happy to have it come out in January. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Sam Raimi is miserable about this, but I'm not getting that vibe. No. He seems like he's having a good time.
No, and I also think Drag Me to Hell is the previous time he's done this.
Exactly.
He's done it twice.
He's shaken off like the dust a little bit from a blockbuster, which is like a completely different kind of thing to make.
I think there was... I saw a thing somewhere where they were like, Sam Raimi is like the only guy who like wants to keep making superhero movies and doesn't get to.
On Reddit, someone asked him like, what's your biggest regret about superhero movies? And he replied, that I'm not getting offered more of them. Like he is like, let me at him. I love superheroes.
But he's like definitely the opposite of what we expect, where it's like, oh, you're slumming it doing those kinds of movies. Or and you want to be making
I've done all I can. Yeah. What else could I say? He's like, no, I have more to say. Like, please.
There's also another aspect, which is like, there's the part you're talking about psychologically that guys don't know how to go scale back down or don't want to anymore, right? I also think there's a thing that like, when people get $200 million budgets, it sometimes seems to break their brain in a way that's equivalent to like going to the moon and then not knowing how to exist on Earth anymore.
Right. Yeah, totally.
You feel sometimes people going like, hey, maybe strategically I should make a smaller one. Maybe I should go back to my roots.
Yeah.
And you're like, they can't relocate the thing anymore.
Well, to me, that's Zemeckis making here.
Exactly.
Where he's like, I'll make an intimate tiny movie. And I'm like, but this is like the most complicated way for you to do that.
Zemeckis doesn't know how to uncomplicate things anymore.
I think so.
Even if you like the later movies, he doesn't know how to.
Like, because Allied is a similar thing where he's like, no, I can make like, and I'm like, right, but it's like a really 80, expensive one, like, and a really like, like tough to mount one.
And Raimi is a guy where you're like, you'd watch this movie and could easily believe this was directed by a 35-year-old with the biggest budget they've ever been handed.
Exactly. Where they're like, I'm going to cut loose, get a little, more CGI with it, blah, blah, blah.
When they announced Drag Me to Hell after Spider-Man 3, and it was like, his next move is he wants to go back. And he's going to reteam with his brothers, and he's going to make a nasty little horror movie at a lower budget. That was really exciting, but many people fall into that trap. And it's more depressing to see these guys not being able to locate their kind of core self anymore. But that was the thing he birthed from the ground up. This is like just a script.
It's a script
that he took on.
Mark Swift and Damian Shannon, who I say this with all due respect because I enjoyed this movie, mostly write dog shit. Just utter dog shit.
Give me the other credits.
Freddy vs. Jason, which I enjoyed, but I assume they were, they were not probably the only people. They're the only credited writers on it, but I assume many passes were taken.
Got a pretty pure vision. Unfiltered.
Shark Tale, which I think they are one of many credited people on.
Yeah, a film I do not like.
No, not very good.
I've never seen it.
All respect to Scott Aukerman.
Yeah.
Is that his favorite movie?
He worked on
it. Wait, what did he do on it?
A lot of writing. Uncredited.
Oh, okay.
The Friday the 13th remake, which means I suppose they wrote the line, your tits are just so juicy, dude.
Yeah, so they wrote your favorite line of dialogue
ever. My favorite line reading. There's an insane sex scene in Friday the 13th, the remake, which is like a pretty solid, it's sort of like a forgettable but okay remake.
I don't even know, like, I forgot that, like, I know that they did one for Elm Street with Jackie Earle Haley.
It was in that vein. It was before
Platinum Dunes.
Platinum Dunes. It was Michael Bay. They did a Texas Chainsaw. They did a Friday the 13th.
Biel.
Yeah.
So who's in Friday the 13th?
Kind of nobody. I mean, again, I don't
Juliana Gill, the woman with
don't know who that is.
She's got the juiciest
tits. She's got the juiciest tits. Okay,
it's
cool.
Jared Padalecki and Danielle Panabaker and Amanda Raihetti. It's a lot of like CW actors.
Wow. Okay.
But it was before Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's a movie that they released it on an actual Friday the 13th.
They did, I think, and which was it seemed to be like 50% or more of the reason for doing it.
Marie, it is one of those movies as a box office nerd that I'm obsessed with because it made like 50% of its final gross on opening day.
It was an open pig, and it actually did fine.
But it was the thing where it was like opening day was like 20, opening weekend was like 40, final total was like 60 or under.
Right. Sounds about right. Anyway, there is a sex scene in which the character who's having the boy says, "Your tits are fucking just so juicy, dude."
Wow.
To a nude woman who says, "You really know how to give a compliment," which is funny. but I have just never forgotten it. And I assume they wrote that line, or maybe it was improv. Who knows?
Just like so juicy, dude.
And then just to finish their credits, Baywatch.
Yeah.
Not great.
Not great.
Bob.
Not great.
These are not movies where I'm like, can't wait to see what those guys are cooking up next.
No.
Now, I know when you judge a writing team like this, they're called Mark Swift and Damien Chazelle, by their credits. I
feel like they probably listen to this podcast.
These are all movies that had a million people work on them. They ended up with the credit. That's great.
And the inverse of this, and it's a thing we can't talk about because these things aren't known, or when they're known, you're not supposed to say them, is like very often the things someone is credited with, the lion's share of work was done by someone else. And the movies in which they did the most positive work, they didn't get credit on. That's the case with a lot of like top level studio working screenwriters. It's why like the fucking Christina Hodson conversation is meaningless.
Of course, where everyone's mad at her
now,
because she wrote The Flash or whatever.
And she was announced as the new writer of Batman, the Brave and the Bold, a movie that is absolutely going to happen.
En route. A movie that is speeding towards us.
Now, I'm pinging this for a specific reason.
Okay.
Sam Raimi says, I wish they offered me more superhero movies. James Gunn is like, Andy Muschietti's a little busy right now. I don't know if he's still making our Batman movie. That's definitely happening. Post it, Welcome to Derry. He's got a lot of offers, right? It feels like Gunn is laying the track for, in other interviews Raimi has done, where they're asking him, well, what other superheroes would you want to do? He immediately says, Batman. I wanted to make Batman in the 80s.
Wow. I mean, he made Darkman, which is sort of like...
Darkman is him not getting to make Batman and not getting to make The Shadow and all the sort of pulp early 90s movies he wanted to make and couldn't get approved of. If I'm James Gunn and I hear Sam Raimi say that in an interview and there's potentially an opening director's chair and you're looking for a way to make the next Batman movie distinct in an era where Batman's been rebooted too many times and we already have the Matt Reeves universe over here.
I was going to ask about that. I still don't understand.
Nobody does.
Okay.
No one understands the strategy here, and no one will admit to knowing the strategy.
My belief, I predicted in another episode that I think will come out in some weeks, is that they will just be super fucking molasses slow with development on this other Batman movie. Wait until the Matt Reeves saga is over to then have a script that's ready to go that they can film within a year. But they will let that resolve itself.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
It's a fine prediction. I mean, Lord knows, I was just thinking about this. This is a horrible, sometimes I wake up at night because one of my kids makes a noise, This happened to me last night.
Well, they're trying to get on Dropout, right? I think they have a game show called Make Some Noise.
I can't say I watched Dropout. I'm sorry. And I had this horrible thought where I was like, the James Gunn DC project can go well and do like 10 years of movies, right?
Right.
And kind of, come to an end as these things seem to do, right? And then it's going to happen. Someone's going to be like, it's time to bring Zack Snyder back, Ben Affleck back, and do The Dark Knight Returns like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight. If Affleck will be old enough and the drumbeat will begin. I predict this
Affleck
now.
Was already old enough before, and that's why they cast him.
He'll be older. And and they kind of hint at it, like the design of him is a little inspired by it and all that. But now people will start to demand this.
Dark Knight Returns, which is the big title, Marie, and the one that Snyder was always kind of pulling from, but never directly adapting. In that, Batman is like unforgiving Clint Eastwood.
He's supposed to be Clint Eastwood, essentially.
And him casting
a gray-haired guy.
Affleck and having him be a little more beaten down and a little more chunky was trying to bridge the gap for that. But the thing you could do, and by the way, even if James Gunn stays, I think that's a very smart observation. I think even if James Gunn stays in charge for 10 plus years,
maybe, right.
It would not be a bad decision to just go, hey, guys, Zack Snyder, Elseworlds, Dark Knight Returns, one-off.
I mean, this is all silly because, of course, what's actually going to happen in 10 years is Zack Snyder will be president of America.
He'll be president of America.
And they'll be fine.
And everyone will be calm. But you say, Marie, I don't get what's going on there. Can you explain this to me? If they announce tomorrow, Sam Raimi is directing a Batman movie with Robin in it, as a movie person, your brain immediately goes, I understand how that would be different from what Matt Reeves and Pattinson are doing.
Right. Very different, big auteur with a totally different energy.
And different from what the last 15, 20 years of live action Batman have been immediately.
I love it. I mean, I have no idea what I love, but I can tell you that in 2019. This is crazy. This project was announced in 2019.
With Raimi
Doctor
attached?
Strange.
Yes. Sam Raimi is going on an island getaway. The director is reteaming with his Spider-Man studio, Columbia Pictures. So I don't know how it fucking moved from Columbia to Disney, to Fox, but Mark Swift and Damien Shannon, who wrote the reboot of this Friday the 13th. Interesting, the Hollywood Reporter says in brackets, the movie where they say juicy tits. It's interesting. Will pen the script based on their original idea. So this is less them being told like, hey, can you do a Friday the 13th? Hey, can you work on the Baywatch movie? This is like them being like, no. We have an actual little cute script we want to do. And Raimi took a liking to it and produced it.
They pitched the idea, right. But they will pen it. It's like they pitched the idea to him as a producer and he says, that sounds good, write it. I want to make this
now
happen.
I'm trying to figure out.
Was Ghost House the name of his shingle at Sony? He had his production company. Because this was another thing in the 2000s and 2010s when he slows down. He's producing like a lot of dumpuary.
It just says Raimi Productions. I'm not sure.
There was a Raimi Tapper production company that did like The Messengers and things like that, where he was pumping out a lot of screen gems.
Sure. No, he's definitely produced a surprising amount of stuff over the years.
Yeah. And it wasn't like the 2010s were Raimi coming down with a case of the Attaches because he just kind of wasn't making anything.
But I think it's how he would get in the mix with like these younger screenwriters. He would see their stuff.
And like once a year, there would be a Raimi is circling and then it just would never come to fruition. It just felt like he couldn't get stuff off the ground. He was producing a lot of things for younger filmmakers, but that's interesting that
Do you guys remember this coming up in our series at all?
No, but I don't remember jack shit about that time in my life. Sorry. Like I don't. I can tell you that Deadline has it on 2024, so 5 years later, that he has closed a deal to direct and produce and help for 20th Century Studio. So it took that long for this thing to kind of, bubble
after the
over there.
Major success of
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which made almost $1 billion.
And I mean, Oz the Grand Powerful ends up at 700 worldwide.
They made a lot of money, although quite a long time ago.
Yes, but it is like, it's interesting that he made a movie that was completely a financial success and yet feels like such a failure as an experiment that he's back on ice for like a decade before Disney lets him make another giant budget movie, and that one makes a ton of money.
The other thing is that, of course, Raimi has constantly been attached to a remake of the ventriloquist dummy movie Magic.
We kept hearing
which
like
is
that's
also
happening.
being written by these guys.
Oh, interesting.
So clearly he's, into these guys.
Yeah. But I feel like when we were doing the Raimi series, we were hearing from multiple people.
That was what he was
Magic's
most
happening,
interested in.
like it's really happening and it's happening soon.
But maybe they were just talking about magic like in the world.
Something magical is happening. Fairies are going to be... Disclosure Day is coming. And it's not about aliens, it's about fairies.
That would be so crazy.
If fairies were real?
No, if that was just... If it's like, guess what, guys? It's not aliens, it's fairies.
The whole time it's been fairies.
Well, it would also be so crazy. I think the ultimate stunt would be Disclosure Day comes out with the simultaneous actual acknowledgement from governments that aliens exist. And Spielberg is like, thank you for like the corporate synergy.
Perfect tie-in.
Right. Do you agree, Ben?
Well, didn't they already kind of do that?
The funniest shit they ever did. They just dropped some videos being like, by the way, here's some like UFOs. We don't really know what's going on with them. Everyone was like,
that is the crazy thing to me, is that everyone really did just be like, okay.
I think everyone just were like, call me when it's a saucer landing and a guy comes out. Everyone was just kind of like, okay, it's like a blob. I don't know.
Do we think that Tom DeLonge was like consulted on the Spielberg movie?
Oh,
because
no.
he said aliens.
I thought you were asking if the government
in society,
consulted.
Yes.
No, the government, I was going to say 100%. Spielberg, 0%.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, when I think of like Disclosure as it relates to aliens, like he's the number one guy
Marie,
I think of.
You're forgetting that Steven Spielberg has a much closer and older friend who's been banging that drum for longer than Tom DeLonge. If Spielberg's asking anyone, it's Dan Aykroyd.
Wait, I didn't know that Dan Aykroyd's an alien guy.
Dan Aykroyd's
like the ultimate.
There's a 10-hour DVD series of him just straight into camera, chain smoking cigarettes, explaining aliens.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff I miss out on by like not ever
like
being
like
into
a
Dan
person
Aykroyd.
who has like sex and normal human relationships with people.
Marie, it sounds like it's time for you to crack a skull.
I know about his vodka.
Yeah.
I do
We
know
all
about
know
the
about
Dan
the
Aykroyd
vodka.
vodka.
Why do you think it's in a crystal skull? Because it's
Because
a
it looks
powerful
cool?
totem provided to us by the UFOs many millennia ago.
Wow.
Yeah, no, Dan Aykroyd is absolutely. If Spielberg was like, who's the craziest alien person I know?
But like, I don't think Dan Aykroyd has an in with like current military people. Tom DeLonge has been building those relationships recently.
I'm sorry. Why has he been doing that?
I don't know. This is like his, I'm not in Blink-182 anymore. I'm just going to go all in to aliens.
Do you guys like Blink-182?
Yeah, of course.
Talk about
Classic.
I don't remember anything that happened on the show before. Blink-182 was like my biggest band for years. We've definitely talked about them
I'm sure we
before.
have. I don't know.
Yeah. That was Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was
No, relax.
seminal.
a motto
Relax.
for you.
Don't be
seminal
saying
album.
that in Walmart or anything though. Okay. Remember they had to call it "Take Off Your Jacket and Pants" in certain places.
Enema of the State. Even the title is saucy. I remember pointing out the CD to my dad and saying, I want that. And him looking at it and going, you're not getting that.
I mean, it does have a sexy nurse lady
Yeah.
going
putting
like
her
this,
glove on,
with
yeah.
boobs. Speaking of,
And that's about the time they walk
Away from me.
Nobody likes you when you're 23. What the hell is ADD, my friend?
Track my age. What's my age again? What's my age again?
40. Sigh.
40 in 2 months.
Ghost House
You're
Pictures.
turning 40 this year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, David.
Don't be too bad. Don't
I
be
just
too
turned
sad for me.
37. You're turning 37 soon.
Well,
Couple
our
weeks.
birthdays are very close together. We're very close.
We're very close.
We're very close.
But yeah, 37 felt way worse to me than other years in my 30s.
That's interesting to me. I don't really. That's not one that really registered with me.
37 feels firmly late 30s.
I mean,
Whereas otherwise, I can just be like, oh, I'm mid 30s. I'm early 30s. No,
that's why I'm excited to
37.
be 40, baby. Early 40s.
Can I tell you what it's like?
Yeah.
It sucks.
Fuck.
For your birthday this year, I assume you're just going to do Edward 40 hands.
David is
It's perfect object
mimicking
work
Edward 40 hands.
of 40s being duct taped to his hand.
Pilot definitely did that. Like back when I
The great pilot
would
Verway
hang out with Pilot all the time.
would do Edward 40 hands.
That was like a thing where I'd be like, what are you doing tonight? Well, someone's doing Edward 40 hands. Like, if you want to come by, be it me or one of my friends.
Do you want to watch?
Yeah, kind of. You
Yeah.
know, that was sort of the vibe. If you were gonna, ask Pilot, what are the Friday plans?
I
40 hands.
never got into 40s
No, they suck.
because they tasted different from regular beer. I was like, this is worse, and there's
Malt
more
liquor,
of
baby.
Yeah,
it.
malt liquor. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I have news. I, of course, was really into 40
What?
in high school.
We
Here
have
in England, that stuff doesn't exist. We had cider. We had White Lightning.
we
and
have
stuff.
it here in the
Malt liquor.
office. The Porches 40.
yeah,
The
that's true.
customized Porches logo.
Shout
for the
out.
I
bottle.
some
That
of the
is true. I
worst
forgot.
pooch of all time.
Shout out to my UK listeners. If y'all ever drank White Lightning, respect. I used to drink White Lightning in the park.
Wow. Would they call it a 40 because it was a different unit of measurement? What would the number be?
I don't know. We didn't
Something
call
random,
it that.
like
we called it White Lightning.
52.
A 2 pence.
It'd be tuppence, I think is what
No,
you're
I was
referring
saying
to.
2 pence. It was a different term.
Big fan though of drinking down to the label, throwing in some OJ, Brass Monkey baby.
That sounds
Disgusting.
so vile. Jesus
That's
Christ.
a good way to puke.
It's kind of like a take on a mimosa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like a sort of take on a mimosa by someone who's been like stunned as a child.
Had you heard of toilet?
I heard it on, the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that funky
yeah,
monkey.
yeah,
Had you heard of toilet wine before this movie?
Yeah, of course. That's like prison movie
This
shit.
was new to you?
Toilet wine was new to me.
Wow. You clearly have never seen Let's Go to Prison.
I've never seen Let's Go to Prison. Although recently, just speaking about like prison stuff, I was like, should I watch Oz? What if I got really into Oz?
Another sign of are you depressed, Marie? How we doing? What's going
Playing
on?
The Sims, watching Oz.
Because that's also regressing to like the year 2000 in a very specific sort of a way.
Feel like shit. Miss them. Wish I was back.
I mean, Oz is one of those shows
Shot
I
of
have not
Christopher Maloney and Oz.
I've not seen it in a long time, where I think you're kind of like, this is interesting. I'm seeing the germs of like a new kind of television.
Yeah.
But you're not like, this is an unseen masterpiece. You're like, oh, you know.
All I know about Oz was that there were like white supremacists and butt fucking. That's like all I know about
bit
Oz.
of a hog
Also,
fest, right?
Rita Moreno was in there.
Rita Moreno was on Oz?
It has
So
an
was Edie
unbelievable
Falco?
cast. Yes. Because it was back in the day when like, it was the only interesting TV show. You know what I mean? Like it was like the only challenging TV show that like, existed. Because it's a couple years before like the HBO revolution really begins. All right, so Send Help. Is a film directed by Sam Raimi, written by those guys we talked about.
Who probably listen to this podcast.
Sure. You know what? Great job, guys. Like I really enjoyed
We love
this
this movie.
Rachel McAdams is the star. Of course, she worked with Sam on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He spoke very highly of her.
Took to her immediately, was like, you're a perfect actor for me. I got to find something where we can do more together.
I saw some interview where he was like, I'm describing like a stunt to her. Like, you're going to get pulled back. You're going to like, whatever, right? For an action scene, for Doctor Strange. And she was like, rather than being like, okay, Jesus, she was like, what angle do you want my head to be at when I hit? And he was like, you and I are friends forever.
He knows when he finds his people. Look, Raimi's a very technical filmmaker. He designs movies like fucking EC Comics, and he needs actors to hit very specific marks, but also like high emotions, comedic instincts. When he finds someone who works, it makes sense that he just grabs on.
The other thing with Rachel McAdams is you would have to be a fucking idiot to not know that she's like an incredibly versatile and talented actor. Everyone knows that, right? And yet Hollywood treats her with mild disrespect.
I mean, this is also a movie about how Rachel McAdams is
a little bit
it's like
she's been with us for 20 years. She's always good. She's done a million kinds of tones and stuff. Like she's nailed them all. She is, let me just say it, a fox. And,
this movie plays with that in an interesting way.
Really clever ways.
Okay, we can get into it.
You think Rachel McAdams is busted?
No, I think she's too... I think the movie would have been... I think she's wonderful. And she's really good in the movie. But I think the movie, it would have been a little more interesting if she was less attractive.
I think the movie is very pointedly presenting an actress over 40 and saying, remember, this person was presented as Julia Roberts, and the industry is now telling you that this person is undesirable. That she has crossed a line, and now she is disgusting. Are they telling us that
she's undesirable, Rachel McAdams?
You want me to run through her recent credits?
I mean, she plays a mom in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, but she's not like an unattractive. She's like pretty attractive in that movie.
I agree.
So
honestly, her recent credits are 2025, 0 movies. 2024, 0 movies. 2023, Are You There, God? 22, Doctor Strange, which is like, God bless. I love that she was in it, but she's not a central
a bit
part
thankless.
of it.
And I do love that Sam Raimi was sort of like handed all these pieces of contractual obligations, actors left over from other Marvel movies, and the threads from the first Doctor Strange, and was immediately like, I gotta build something better for you. Our relationship shouldn't just be you being like, oh, Steven.
2021, 0 movies. 2020, Eurovision, which she rocks in.
Oh, she's great.
2019, 0 movies. 2018, Game Night, which she rocks in.
She's incredible in Game Night. Is she doing TV?
That's the whole thing. You're like, oh, well, she must not have credits.
She did like one season of True Detective, right?
2015.
Well, what the hell is she doing?
The only thing she's done that I'm not mentioning is she did theater. She did Mary Jane on Broadway, which she got a Tony nomination for and got very good reviews for. But look, maybe Rachel McAdams isn't working much because she doesn't want to. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's up with Rachel McAdams. And if she wants to tell me, she can call me. And my number is 1-2-3-4-5-6-7-8-9-10. But like
10, interesting.
Yeah. You gotta find that 10 button. But like, to me, it feels like Hollywood's just sort of like, oh yeah, well, we know you're over there and you're always good.
It is an assumption on my part that she is probably turning down a tremendous amount of stuff,
like crappy, that is dumb stuff,
like disrespectful.
Like the last movie she was presented to us, I think, as like a really like a hot person that you want to, right? Like when's the last time?
The Vow.
Yes.
You're saying like the last time she was presented as
I guess About Time, but obviously that's like a sweet movie.
I don't know. Maybe I just have because I'm woman, I have like different perspective on this. But like, I'm always like, oh yeah, Rachel McAdams, she's hot and I love her whenever she
We
shows
all
up in a
agree with
movie.
that. But when, in Aloha, it's like, don't you want to be rid of Rachel McAdams so you can get with that hot Asian Emma Stone?
Your reading of Aloha is wrong.
No, but she's less of the object of desire in Aloha, right? It's been a while since I saw Aloha.
Yeah, you got to rewatch Aloha.
I know the number.
I'd say that's not the Ben of Aloha.
Let's relax. Let's relax about. I've got.
It's time for you to take another lap. Go to the beach, lie down, and bathe in Aloha. No, Aloha was mismarketed as a love triangle movie. It is instead him trying to process what he got wrong in his previous most important relationship to figure out how to be a better man. But there is actually not really tension within the movie about them getting back together.
But nonetheless, she is not the romantic lead of that film.
It's that she was...
And then like Disobedience, sure, she's hot stuff. They're all spitting in each other's mouths, but they're all Hasidic. They're all fucking, religious.
The point to me, Marie, is that, and how old is she now?
47.
Yeah.
She's all, wow.
Because the whole thing in Mean Girls...
late. Mean Girls, she was 24.
I thought she was even older in Mean Girls.
Well, do the math. 25? Mean Girls is 23 years ago.
That's the whole thing, because Lindsay's actually like 17 in that movie, and she's 25. Yeah. Had been just doing work in Canada up until that point. But 2004 is the... is 2004... No,
Mean Girls in the Notebook.
And then 2005 is Wedding Crashers, Red Eye, and Family Stone.
Wow.
And those...
What a run.
What a run.
2 years, Hollywood goes, we've done it. We found the next Julia.
Yep.
It was truly like we've been searching
Smile
for the alternative energy source. She has done 5 movies across 2 years in every genre. She's played supporting. She's played romantic lead. She's done comedy. It's here. And she basically, and she's talked about in the last couple of years, got really freaked out by the pressure that was placed on her. And just like, I'm not thinking of this.
Especially the Notebook thing, the Ryan Gosling thing.
She's in the middle of a big...
Remember when they recreated that kiss on stage at the MTV
wearing the
Awards?
Darfur shirt?
Oh my God, talk about 2020.
I was about to say, talk about just a moment in time.
Nothing is
2004, not
nothing is more 2004.
Yeah.
But she was just like, I like acting. I don't... This presidential
this star thing,
presidential campaign level of you're running for A-list Queen of Hollywood shit freaked her out. And the machinery. She slows way down. Her next 2 movies are The Lucky Ones and Married Life.
Yeah, but I think
those aren't. I'm not. Those aren't registering.
Married Life is 07. The Lucky Ones is 08. Neither of those, they were not seen. And then in 09, she has the sort of comeback year, but it's State of Play where she's kind of the third lead. Sherlock Holmes where she's like kind of the third lead. Obviously, Sherlock Holmes is the main character of that one. Just FYI. And then Time Traveler's Wife, which was like much delayed.
But was
that? I think was a hit.
It's funny that she's in Time Traveler's Wife and About Time.
She's good in Time Traveler's Wife.
It's
a bad movie.
Because there's also Midnight in Paris. She's in 3 movies where she falls in love with a guy
who is time traveling.
Who's time traveling.
Yeah, and she's like, "What's up?"
Men will literally time travel to avoid staying engaged in their relationship.
When are we going to put Rachel McAdams' time traveling wife trilogy on Patreon?
I'd love nothing more.
That's and hey, what the world needs now is us talking Midnight in Paris.
Everyone wants to hear my take.
Yeah.
It was an interesting kind of swerve from her, and it feels like she reemerged, and like Sherlock Holmes was the real like, I guess I gotta pay a mortgage and make a movie where my face is on a billboard, but what's the strategic one that feels like it'll be the most fun and is the least weight on my shoulders? There's a lot of stuff she infamously turned down, like Batman Begins, and
she would've been great in that. Rachel!
I think that
was Christopher Nolan trying to hire her. Rachel!
I believe there was the holy trinity of Batman Begins, Iron Man, and Superman Returns that she all turned down.
She obviously, the way Kate Bosworth is like styled in Superman Returns is basically like, fuck,
they dyed her hair
Rachel
and everything.
McAdams. Iron Man, she would have been Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
She would have been good at that too.
But Paltrow crushes that.
Yeah, Paltrow.
The other 2 are miscast, and you see how if McAdams had been in them, both movies would have like really benefited.
Obviously, Rachel Dawes is the kind of character that if I'm Rachel McAdams and maybe I'm not like foreseeing a Christopher Nolan, boom about to start, I'm kind of like, why do I want to be the fucking DA who talks to Batman? Like, boring. And Lois Lane is more exciting. But, it's a big old production. Maybe you don't want to do it.
Beyond even jerk off motion boring, I think she was like, I don't want more attention right now.
Maybe she just wasn't into it.
And has just like had a very interesting career of feeling like she works when she wants to work. And she can always, every couple of years, be like romantic drama, romantic comedy, this or that. When Morning Glory comes out, people were sort of like, this is the one we've been waiting for. It took her 8 years past the moment where we anointed her for her to like find her Working Girl, her Julia movie. And that movie didn't really go, but it was like, this is the vehicle we've wanted and the audience isn't here for us. What I think is interesting about this movie is it is less that like they're taking Rachel McAdams and making her Selena Kyle at the beginning of Batman Returns. A performance I love, but one where Michelle Pfeiffer is going like big with how small and broken and sad and maladjusted the character is. This is more about like, to a guy like Dylan O'Brien, Rachel McAdams has no value. That he's looking at one of still the most luminous actresses we have working in Hollywood and going like, who's this fucking 46-year-old eating tuna fish sandwiches?
Right, she's swagless. She's got lipstick on her teeth. She's eating tuna.
Absolutely.
She's got a bad necklace.
She's too obsessed with Survivor, which is a red flag.
I love...
So the Survivor thing really, because like
it's a good observation. Obviously, it's crucial to the movie. But,
David, you and I both have like coworkers.
We sure do.
Like, I don't consider you guys. I joked about you guys.
We're talking about
you guys
guys
are
on
our
Slack.
coworkers.
No, we're talking about like, but we're also friends and we all have the same interests.
Well, Marie, remember, I'm your boss.
That's true. You are my boss.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
Ben's your boss. David's your boss.
You guys are all my boss.
Oh Jesus!
You're in line for VP.
But like a desk job where you have coworkers who all you have in common with them is that you go to the same job every day.
I'm sitting at a desk.
Ben and I show up here all the time.
You guys are really derailing Marie's point right now. What is your point, Marie?
Well, I have normal people coworkers who are obsessed with Survivor.
Yeah. You're like, okay.
Survivor's still huge.
50th season this year, I believe. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Survivor 50.
I Survivor.
I've never seen 1 minute of it.
Oh,
really?
I watched the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Same. They were very
Like
big.
Maddie.
My whole family watched them together.
Same.
Do you remember like there's the snake and the rat.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh God, Sue.
Sue. She was like a truck driver, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. I think so.
Wasn't there that naked guy?
Richard Hatch.
Who won?
He was. I remember hearing about that one.
He was the snake and Kelly was the rat.
Yes.
Oh God. Talk about just iconic moments in television.
Rudy.
Old man Rudy.
Colleen Haskell, America's sweetheart.
She was so pretty.
The Rachel McAdams of her time.
There was like Gervais, like the cool black guy.
Oh, Gervais.
They played at the Nighthawk pre-show. They played like scenes from Survivor Borneo.
Oh, that's clever.
Which was fun. But anyway, Survivor. Like after I stopped watching Survivor in like season 4, like I forgot about it until I got a like normal person day job, and then I'm like, oh wow, this is coworker shit.
This movie, yes, it lets Rachel McAdams.
To be clear, I have no problem with Survivor. My whole thing with reality TV is just like I don't have time for that, so I don't know what's going on. So I don't have it as a touch point. With
it was.
Other
I mean, that
fans.
was the last time I was engaged in a reality TV phenomenon, and I got off the train.
Now I know they're on an island and they have to survive and all that.
Yeah, which is, just a very smart hook for this movie. The point I'm trying to make about Rachel McAdams, I guess, is I appreciated how much. Yes, she's got lipstick on her teeth. She doesn't know she's got tuna fish on the side of her mouth, right?
She does have the tuna.
There's stuff like that. It's not like the movie is not making any efforts to have the character embarrass herself. But it just feels more like this woman is a little bit like uncalibrated to the workplace environment.
She just doesn't give a shit. She's good at her job.
That's
and
the
she
bigger
doesn't
part of
care about,
playing the game.
And she's still objectively beautiful at the beginning of the movie. And for this guy to be like, this fucking woman actually grosses me out, says a lot about the core dynamics of the film, and also lays the track for her to have this glow up across the movie, which what I love about it is the glow up is like 90% performance. The glow up is not that much about a physical transformation. And in fact, her physical transformation just feels like her getting kind of like settled and earthier.
Well, yeah, she comes into her own.
Yes.
On the island.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I ask a question about Survivor real quick before we move on?
Sure. This is maybe our least focused episode in a long time.
This is my husband and I had this conversation as we exited the theater. Yes, I am married to a man named David. Which of us, the four of us, would do, like, how would it shake out?
The four of us? So we're on the island.
So my prediction,
wits.
Griffin and I die immediately.
Yeah, the answer is Ben.
Ben does well. David thinks he's going to do well, but ultimately dies. Right. And then Ben is the one that...
You guys, I'm very capable in some ways. I'm not a capable nature guy. I would not be like rolling up my sleeves being like, these berries are the right berries. I think I would be very conservative. I would die. I don't think I would do well.
I think you and I die. I think David's voted off first, and I think Ben wins.
Well, what's now? There's voting. Are we doing Send Help or Survivor?
Now there's voting. It's been the whole thing the whole time.
I mean, it was less about like Survivor the show, more about like we're in this real life scenario.
Oh, then all three of us die, and Ben also still wins Survivor.
You're not outdoorsy at all, Marie? That's not really a Marie thing. No, right? No.
Literally, I'm like giving you a blank stare.
We were talking about Digger
Sims,
before,
of course.
Right? Famously, I asked on this podcast, have you two ever dug a hole before? And I think David was like, maybe.
Yeah, I am more in the maybe category.
Marie, have you ever dug a hole?
Yes.
Okay. I love that. See, at least you're somewhat outdoorsy if you've done that.
My parents were into gardening.
Like I
wasn't like, I'm not like digging.
You're talking about a trowel?
Yeah,
I'm talking about a shovel,
I'm like digging stuff to like put a seed in there, not like, you know.
No, you ain't digging.
Almost anything where you could pose the question, Griffin, have you ever even done that? The answer is yes, one time only on camera.
Oh, sure. Right. You did it pretend for, right.
No, I did it for real, but I have dug a hole on camera one time.
In what project?
It was a short film.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll never find it.
Yeah.
I have like that. I'm like really allergic to mosquito bites. Sometimes they call it skeeter syndrome, where they like have a very strong reaction. They blow up real big and they're worse than they are for.
Right. You're actually responding to the anesthetic they inject you with.
Yeah. So, I mean, first, the bugs would get me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that would be my cause of death.
I don't think it would kill you, but it wears you down. I would not be happy about whatever fucking Thai bugs are getting me in that island. That is for sure. I'm a strong swimmer. I'm a very strong swimmer.
Can't swim. Again,
okay,
dying
well,
first.
Marie, you're definitely in trouble. I definitely don't take any private flights over the Gulf of Thailand anytime soon, man.
Or just wear your floaties.
Yeah, well, right. I will wear... Hey, I always pay attention to the flight attendant safety briefing at the beginning of every flight.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm
stay buckled in.
I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, it's important to pay attention because they changed it a lot.
Every plane's different.
This is true.
Every country has different regulations.
Can we talk about the movie Send Help, a film that I love?
So we haven't talked about... the setup of Send Help is Linda's this, slightly dorky employee at a company. Whatever.
She does
like a consulting.
She does all
company.
the work, gets none of the credit.
It's a scenario we can understand in 5 minutes, or Dylan O'Brien.
She's in a cubicle bank with the secretaries. They put her in the same area of the office with the secretaries.
She's near the CEO, but you're right. She's right. She doesn't really have any special treatment.
I almost kind of took it that she was perhaps the CEO's secretary for a long time,
right, and proved her worth.
Got a kind of mini promotion to a title that isn't really.
This is the whole she's like this intangible glue person where everyone's like, I know she seems silly, but like she knows everything. She knows how to fucking fix, contracts and documents.
Dead CEO is Bruce Campbell depicted in a painting. Dennis Haysbert, kind of his right-hand man, who's now ushering in the transition.
Haysbert just brings in one bucket of gravel and shovels it out. He's doing a great job. Just a little bit of gravel.
Perfect. And Dylan O'Brien is the fucking frat boy.
Evil
Nepo
Nepo son.
He wears loafers without like those kind of not even loafers. They're like those like little slipper things. Those
Like Ferragamo.
yeah,
like blue suede.
Yeah, no socks.
Who is this guy? This guy sucks.
Well,
At least he doesn't. At least he
really
doesn't have
good
the
job.
suspenders. The other guy has suspenders, which
Yes.
is
Oh my
another
God.
like immediate flag
love
that this
that
The
guy.
other
Xavier
guy is
Samuels.
he's kind of like styled like what Dylan O'Brien would be styled like if this movie were the 90s,
Yes.
right? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I was
Like,
going to say he's
It's very
dressed like
Patrick
Gordon
Bateman.
Gekko.
Yes.
He's
Gordon
dressed like
Gekko.
Patrick Bateman.
Yes.
But yes, Rachel McAdams had been promised for a long time that she was next in line for a VP promotion.
You're
It
going to get the
feels
big
like
promotion.
she got promoted from being a secretary, but got stuck like one step above it for a very long time. And as you said, it's like, here's the woman who actually holds all the guys together.
right.
company
does the
needs
invisible
her,
work.
But she's
Right.
also kind of take it for granted because she'll put up with it.
Like she puts together all this documentation for like a quarterly report.
She figures
And this
out
suspender ass guy
Appendix
basically
9 or
just
whatever.
takes it from her and claims credit.
Right. And won't
Ben, are
let
you
her in the
getting mad?
meeting.
Are you getting
I'm
mad
pissed
watching
off.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
fucker, that I'm so glad when he gets his comeuppance.
What's he's
Xavier
Xavier Samuel,
Who was the villain in Twilight Eclipse?
Yeah, he's Riley.
Yeah.
I can't say I remember him.
He's
in
an
that one.
Australian pretty boy.
Yeah.
But yes, no, right off the bat, I mean, it's just like it's Raimi shit where it's just like I brought up EC Comics earlier, but I had this thought a lot watching this movie of like he does have the language of like pre-code horror comics in his DNA, not just in how hypervisual he is, but you would read these like there was a code imposed on the comic books industry that comics were perverting the youth of America. And horror comics got like kicked out of society basically. And that led to the creation of Mad Magazine and superhero comics basically to fill the void of how does the comics industry stay afloat without touching on seen as objectionable material. And you look at those horror comics, they're the types of things that inspired Tales from the Crypt, Two-Fisted Heroes and all this sort of stuff, war comics. They're like very bold, expressionistic, really like broad strokes storytelling. You leaf through the pages and you're like, oh my God, this fucking imagery. Every single panel has an entire story of emotion in it. And then you try to read it from front to back and it is almost incomprehensible. They're all like slop expressed in the most vibrant way with so much feeling. And I was even talking to like Fantagraphics has been putting out a lot of these EC Comics things. You see them at a store, these hardcover reproductions. You're like, holy shit, I should buy this. You bring it home 2 pages in, you're like, oh, this is gobbledygook.
A lot of tiny little print, you know,
And it's just kind of like
every panel.
really kind of like bland melodrama, you know, or the same kind of like horror gimmicks repeated over and over again. Sometimes there's a kernel of a good idea not expressed well. Feels like Raimi's visual language is very tied to that, but figuring out how to actually tell good coherent stories within that. And he just is like, what's the quickest way to communicate this? Within 3 minutes, you kind of know everything about the setup of this movie.
Even down to her having a bird. There's something about that says so much
that
about
she
the
like
character.
talks to the bird.
Yeah.
But like the power structure of all 10 characters and how they see everything and how everything feels. So yes, she's sort of on the outside looking in. Dylan O'Brien comes in on his first day and immediately just hates her.
Should we talk about Dylan O'Brien at all? The performer who plays the character called Bradley Preston.
I think this is an impressively contemptible performance.
I think he is a good young actor.
So I said in my review, you know, like that I consider him a somewhat untapped resource, right? Like I'm like, it's a good showcase for this guy who like Hollywood has never quite used well enough. And my editor like was like, agree with you, but like examples, please. And so, you know, like obviously he's best known for the Maze Runners and the Teen Wolf show, right? Like that was where
Right.
he came out of.
He
Ben?
was the best friend character on Teen Wolf, which
Yeah, he
ran for
was
many
the-
years.
kind of the fun character, I assume. I never really watched
Styles,
it.
I believe.
the fuck is Maze Runner?
There were 3 Maze Runner movies, Ben.
It was
First, we
3.
ran the maze.
Yeah.
Then we endured the Scorched Trials. Then we found the Death Cure.
It
It was like
the
a Hunger.
Death
It was like a
Yep.
Hunger Games.
It's a
Yeah, the
post-Hunger
YA.
Games,
Yeah.
Divergent Maze
Sure.
Runner, Hunger Games.
But the most important thing about the Maze Runner movies was that he got was he the one that got seriously injured?
Yep.
Making
He
the
got-
third
he-
one.
He got seriously injured on set. where like they had to like reconstruct his face,
There was,
which you can't tell because he look, you know, he's
there
like,
was
oh,
like he was,
But,
you know, he was a teen actor, right? He was in a lot of stuff. He was more kind of comedy skewing.
Sure,
there was
he's kind of fun.
There was
you
a
know.
period of time in the late 2000s, early 2010s when I was auditioning a lot, where very often it would come down to me, Dylan O'Brien, and Will Poulter.
wow.
Three good actors.
And those two guys really were kind of starting comedy forward. Oh, these guys can improvise.
Yeah, because Will Poulter was in We're the Millers or whatever,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
And had come from Son of Rambo.
Oh, yeah.
And Dylan O'Brien had done a lot of comedy stuff. And was like,
or at least like Teen Wolf. I never really watched it, but like Teen Wolf had a lot of comedy in it, right? Like it's like it was fun. It was MTV.
but there's like he's in what's Dylan O'Brien in? He's in the
Well, this is what I wanted to talk
Internship.
about. He's in the Internship. I
Yeah.
can't say that I saw that one.
There was a movie that Matt Walsh directed that I want to say he was the lead in that was improv based. High Road. It was his first
I
real
remember
movie.
High Road.
The first time, which is the other Kasdan son, Jonathan Kasdan, who co-wrote Solo. That's kind of like
That's
a
with,
teen when Harry
Life
Met Sally.
Unexpected. The girl
Yes,
from Life
who was
Unexpected.
his longtime girlfriend. They met on that and were together for like 10 years.
He was in Deepwater Horizon. He got oil all over him, just like everyone else. He was in. Then he had the sort of the accident on Death Cure set him back. It seemed, and he was sort of gone for a minute. He was in that thing, Love and Monsters, which that was like a movie. Joey, my brother, texted me about because Joey fucking loves Dylan O'Brien. Being like, that one's pretty good, and I was like, yeah, cool story, bro. Don't care. He was in Infinite, which I did see.
Never seen.
Not a movie that popped for me huge. And so it started to be like, you know, what did we do here? Like, this guy was pretty good. Like, we kind of lost the track here.
But like,
And then
no
he
need to get
pops a little bit in the outfit. I know, yes, but there's some personal stuff with him.
No. All I just want to say, just because Ben didn't know this, right? The Maze Runner incident was like insane. It was one of those things where like it goes up as a Deadline story, and it was like, is this guy about to die? It was like a car scene gone wrong, and he's like dragged. And there was this whole thing of like, the physical scale of this is insane. Everyone's waiting to hear if he's in stable condition. Once he was in stable condition, it was like, what's he going to look like? Even when they were like, miracle, we think there's been a successful facial reconstruction. People were like, is this guy ever going to
Yeah, I mean,
appear in public again?
it's like the
because of-
Montgomery Clift thing where like he comes back from facial reconstruction
Yeah,
and
he
he's
had,
like all
But beyond
kinda
that,
fucked up.
the trauma of the incident,
Yeah.
like how extreme it was, there was a lot of reporting of like, he's backed away, like he might not be able to get through this, right? And so there was this kind of like slow reemergence. They finally finished Death Cure, but that was like, is that his final movie? Those movies all made kind of like automatic $100 million, 200 worldwide. So it felt like he was on that runway to, is this guy kind of like a steady studio hand to be the lead of mid-budget movies? And it's like a slow reemergence. American Assassin, a movie you weirdly bring up a lot for how much it sucks.
That's the one with
The Michael Keaton one.
Oh,
He's the guy
sure.
that
I've never
Keaton's
seen
training.
it.
Oh my God, that movie is insane.
And that was his
I
big,
forgot about
that's
that.
his big post-injury like reintroduction movie.
That's
yeah,
so
that came
weird.
out before Death Cure because Death Cure took so long to finish. I will point out.
Because that movie is so just about like hurt me is the vibe.
There was a really interesting article. I will see if I can find it. We can post it in the episode description about his process of deciding he wants to return to set and acting, and how he connected to that material as like a guy who needs to rebuild himself, and like what he was going through while he was making that movie. But he's been in an odd place, and he's like swinging between a lot of things. He's bizarrely good as the aforementioned Dan Aykroyd in Saturday Night. A
Oh, I
movie
forgot.
that I
you
think is
said that.
contemptible. And I think
he's
he
good in it.
does the best of all the original cast members.
No, Chevy's the best.
I'm sorry. There are three that I think are
Yeah.
good. It's him. It's Lamorne Morris is fucking on fire.
Yeah,
he's really
he's
funny.
really good in it.
But
I just remember Dan Aykroyd, kind of the most thankless of those parts.
Correct.
Just doing like good yeoman's work in
it's
that
the
movie.
one where he has to do the most of an impression, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
character has no arc versus Chevy and Garrett
and like
Morris. Are
an
given more to
Aykroyd
do.
impression is a little harder for a modern audience anyway. Like that's not a guy that young Aykroyd people remember as well and
The
all
thing
that.
I was kind of astonished he got right in that performance is the weird swing between Aykroyd seeming like the coolest guy in the room
Right.
and
Being a dork.
the lamest.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, look, the thing people loved him in was Twinless last year, my favorite movie of 2025. Marie's laughing at me.
Because you really didn't like that movie.
No, I didn't.
In a way that I think is interesting.
I posted a dismissive review of it on Letterboxd, and people were not happy with me because a lot of people liked that movie.
Yeah, I think he is really good in that movie.
I think he gave an excellent performance in that movie. There was another actor in the movie I had a little more trouble with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a kind of movie I really struggle with, which is the movie where you know the lie very early, but the lie is not revealed until very late. And so you're just sitting with a movie that is spinning its wheels. And I'm like,
the Twilight Zone problem.
Sure. Right. But I thought he was good in it. And again, had that feeling of like, what happened here? Like, why is there not more Dylan? Like, like Hollywood, like, take a look.
He's an interesting
And I know people love him, like, because people responded to Twinless with being like, we love Dylan. Like,
I think he's aging, like, he's in more stuff. He's in more adult stuff. I think he's aging well.
Yeah,
I think I see good things in his
This is the
future.
kind of thing he's really good
at. But I just want to catch myself in saying, like, sometimes I do this, what happened? Where did this person go? And as time's gone on, I've like reflected on a little bit of like, well, I'm a person who just at a certain point went like, I don't know if I want to fucking act anymore. I wasn't walking away from a career at the level that Dylan O'Brien had, but I've become like a lot more reticent to do anything. And I get now more why certain people are like, am I 1 foot in and 1 foot out? Especially,
are you Rachel McAdams in 2024?
Sure, my experience is closer to that without having anywhere near any level of success. But Dylan O'Brien has this like huge traumatic incident, and it's always felt like, is he going to lean into it or is he going to try to work past it or whatever? This weirdly to me feels like the one movie that kind of harnesses the innate darkness of the near-death experience in a weird way, not in a metatextual way. I feel like he's activating something in this performance that feels like it is coming from the darkest experiences in his soul. I also think this movie is like using both his comedic and dramatic instincts in an interesting way, because there's nothing Raimi loves more than a self-aware, handsome guy who's willing to play the idiot, the asshole, right? The cad, the blowhard. And this is a modern type of that guy that Raimi has not really had the chance to tackle yet.
Well, this is so he's good at obviously, he's had great blowhards in the past. It's funny because Rachel is almost the Toby, right? Like the kind of the sweet, well, actually she's not sweet though, because she does some crazy shit in
these are
movie.
the reviews.
Right. Yeah.
It's the line I love. I cite all the time about Raimi's approach to the Spider-Man movies, where he said, in my mind, the joke of the Spider-Man movies is that no one else knows that Peter Parker is the star of the picture.
Right. Yeah,
that the movie around him treats him like shit.
Anytime he shows up, people are like, oh, hi, Peter. Like, you're here too.
And I think Raimi likes two different types of protagonists. There's guy who the universe is treating like shit because he kind of deserves it.
Is Ash that?
Yeah.
Because Ash is kind of like a bit of an arrogant.
I think Evil Dead 1 Ash is closer to Peter Parker.
And then 2 and 3, it's a little bit more like this. It's fun taking this guy down a peg, or like, it's fun how high on himself he is.
Right.
And then we throw some new shit at him.
And Raimi movies usually feel like, I think I said this during our series, but like these movies about these almost biblical tests of like, don't open the book, don't open the bag. A person makes one decision that they can't undo, and their life just like descends into chaos. You take a bite of the apple. But then the other kind of character he likes is someone where it's sort of like they are the nerd getting kicked in the face with sand at the beach, and the universe won't give them respect, and they're fighting to try to get a little bit of respect. And sometimes that can be someone like Peter Parker, who is like as close as I think Raimi can come to portraying what he thinks is like the empirical good of the universe.
That's why he was so suited to that movie.
Yeah.
And why I guess the Batman take would be something completely different.
Yeah, which he has in him.
He's got everything in him. He's got so much in him. I mean, he found a sweetness to Doctor Strange. A guy I wasn't, like expecting that from. Like,
what you're expecting is quality healthcare, good bedside manner, literally. I just think the modern kind of tech bro, finance bro CAD is something because Raimi's output has slowed way down over the last 20 years. He has not yet gotten to tackle this guy not being 6'5", this guy being a little soft. There's something about Dylan O'Brien. He's a built guy, but he's also this era of leading man who
he's in good shape.
They all feel kind of like perpetual 15-year-olds.
He's a little twinky.
He's a little boyish. Yeah. And I think will always be a little boyish, which is great. Like it's all, he's owning his lane very well. And he works here because it just adds to his kind of like shit kicker arrogance thing where you're just like, who do you think you are, buddy? But he thinks he's like, risen to the top on merit alone, or I don't know, whatever.
So Linda finds out she's not getting the promotion.
She has this bad encounter trying to make a first impression on him, or a second impression.
And he's like, we need to relocate her or replace her within the company.
I already promised this position to my frat buddy, Mr. Suspenders. B, she disgusts me.
Yeah, it's even if he didn't have the buddy.
She smells bad. She's gross. She dresses poorly.
Fucking cruel.
Yes.
He plays it really well.
I
really felt his discomfort being even near her. But then I like the little moments, like when she barges into his office to be insane. Like, before the plane crash, right? Where she just barges in.
I think he plays that genuine.
They both played that really well, because her doing that, you're like, well, that's not going to work. Like you do. And we're getting a little hint on how, this woman is actually a little over the edge sometimes.
But he's impressed that
and then
he has
he's
a
kind of
little
like, I can't believe you did that. Right. I guess you get to ride on the plane now because that was something.
I might have underestimated you.
You still know he's gonna fuck her over, but
they have her on this business trip where she's the only one like doing the work for them for this big meeting they're going to have in Thailand or whatever.
And we have the scene in between where she's talking to her bird at home while prepping her lunch, and we see bookshelves just full of survival books. Which at first I was like, look, if Raimi just wants to do shorthand and get us there, whatever, for whatever reason, this woman is a survival like prepper. But then you get to the survivor reveal where I was like, this is such an ingenious premise. This is the perfect way to, in like 2 images and 2 lines of dialogue, make the audience understand there's a reason this woman's going to survive on this island that is completely believable. As you said, someone you work with in an office who just watches this show, reads these books and is like, if I landed there, I could probably win.
It's perfect because it explains everything, as you just said. And it's a great pathetic thing that they can make fun of her for.
It tells you everything about the character.
Button of cruelty where they're all laughing at the video.
They find her audition video for Survivor.
Yes. They're laughing on the plane.
And it means like when the plane crashes, you're like, tear these people apart.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to die.
It's the Raimi thing I love, where you're just like, he makes you eager for blood.
Yeah. It's just, and I want to pop off really quickly in that I find the way that he's captured the privilege of this type of guy.
Give me your seat.
And they're like, since they went to private school, to college, to the workplace, they've always been told they're going to be on top, and they're not even good at their jobs. And it is actually the way that the world works, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Like, here's what happens very, very concisely within this scene. I'm not being concise in my description. The scene is concise, right? She's doing all of the fucking work.
Literally.
Typing it up. She sees that they are in the corner laughing at her audition tape. Dylan O'Brien, when all the guys are preparing to sit around him to watch the tape, goes like, you're going to use fucking seatbelt, you fucking pussy? Like, makes it into a masculinity
alpha
contest, right? What, you're worried the plane's going to go down? Of course, he buckles his seatbelt and they don't, right? She sees they're laughing. She presses don't save on the document. Fine, you guys are fucking on your own. You see in her the kind of resolution of like, fuck it, let them fire me. I quit, whatever. I don't want to be with these people anymore. Then the plane hits turbulence. Immediately, we're in Sam Raimi plane crash.
We are. I mean, and I feel like we've all been rubbing our hands being like, what are the like 3 things Sam can think of?
Right.
Because like we've all seen plane, we're like, he's going to have a couple cool little ideas.
He's going to have new
twists on the, carnage.
He's not going to do a Zemeckis plane crash where what
It's all
strikes you is the realism
realistic,
of,
right,
bit by bit. Like, it's going to be plane is now crashing. Crazy shit happens. Xavier Samuels is like crawling towards her, demanding she give him her seat. It's not a please. It's not a save me. It is a, I am above you in the totem pole. Give me your seat. She has the wherewithal to see all the silverware sliding down the aisle of the plane.
Her.
Yes, he's choking her for the seat to try to kill her so he can buckle himself in. She stabs his hand with a fork. He goes flying out the side of the plane, which is now ripped open. You see his tie is still hanging like on the shred of jagged metal, and you assume, oh, that's the one remnant of this guy. And then the camera pans over, and you're like, no, he's being choked by the tie, which is lodged into the jagged metal. He's right outside her window dying.
And she puts the shade down.
Yeah.
And it plays for laughs. And it's
it's nasty.
Triumphant, and it's also so nasty.
It's what he's so good at. I mean, and he's just so good at that like extra detail. And he, of course, the bore later on is when you feel it again, where you're like, I thought we were done. And he's like, I have like one more dessert for you in this like kill or whatever. And you're like, whoa, right? Like that's what he wants to get out of everyone. And he delights in it. And you got to.
Did you see tip your cap to doff the cap? Did you see one of his interviews for this movie? Someone asked him about the best recipe for fake blood.
Yes, I did see that. And he immediately had a formula.
He listed it off as if it was asking Gordon Ramsay, how would you recommend I make a burger?
A good thick mix of, oh, let me find Jesus, come on.
But it was very calm. He was like, yeah, absolutely. Here you go.
Come on. A good thick mix of caramel syrup, red food coloring, a little blue to give it that unaerated look, and a bit of coffee to make it dark. I don't mean to brag, but hello, I'm here. I know how to throw blood.
I know how to throw blood.
He knows how to throw blood.
Wow.
There you go.
That rules.
And I love that he's still like boots on the ground in that way.
Yes. Well, he was like, I was on the Evil Dead set with my friends making this movie, right? Like I've been doing this from the beginning, mixing bloods in my, water bottles or whatever.
I'm sure we shared this story at the time, but Ben and I ran into someone who worked on the crew of Spider-Man 3 at a bar when we were doing that series.
Yeah.
And he told us about a scene where they needed smoke effects, and Sam Raimi had a giant like tube and a grip standing at the other end of it, chain smoking and blowing the cigarettes into the tube.
I remember
that was the highest budgeted film in history at time of release. And
that
Sam
sounds like
Raimi's
an OSHA violation.
But he's also like, just have a guy smoke cigarettes into a tube. That's what we need.
So the plane crashes. They land on a remote island in the Gulf of Thailand somewhere.
How did that go for you?
Oh, I don't mind. It's fake.
This couldn't be more fake.
It felt really heightened. Yeah.
I don't
it
know.
wasn't
that shit doesn't bother me because it's not a jumbo jet. I'm not going to be on a private plane.
You ever go to PJ?
What was that?
Never go to PJ?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm allowed to sign out the BCPJ this weekend?
Yeah, I was about to say,
You
Blank
guys
Check
take the
Productions
Lockheed.
has a jet.
Yeah, I'm just amused. And also, it's very fake. Like, in a totally fine way.
Planes don't crash from turbulence.
Right. Well, I mean, like I appreciate that, but like they're like, I don't know, there's a storm. Don't worry about it. The plane crash.
This movie has a very consistent tone and reality from the beginning. Like Raimi is better than anyone at just being like, here is the exact pitch this movie exists at. I'm going to introduce it to you, and I'm establishing it at a place that will allow me to execute all of the moves I want in this film without straining, credibility.
Totally. And it works.
Dylan O'Brien, leg fucked up.
Right. He is essentially in beach traction.
Rachel McAdams actively saves him. Could have left him for dead.
True.
The other guys are like DOA before the plane even hits water.
Yeah, and I appreciate it doesn't really come up again.
Yes.
We're seeing a little sign of her ruthlessness, her like secret ruthlessness, but it's not like she admits later, like, oh, by the way, I fucking, kind of was every man for myself. Yeah.
And yeah, he wakes up and now they're not in the office anymore.
It's Triangle of Sadness. I mean, it's like
I kept thinking about
of course,
that.
It's like,
So much
okay,
better.
now, sure, it's a completely different thing. But, like the same idea of like, right, like all of our capitalist, like ladder shit is gone.
The hierarchy has change in the
Now-
what is it? What's the line from
The
Black
hierarchy
Adam?
of power has changed in the Sentelp
Man,
universe.
if Black Adam was on this island, shit would have gone down differently. I think this movie is kind of asking, what do men even do anymore?
Totally.
And I
That's
think
a
it's
great call.
part of like the Dylan O'Brien character being a little bit twinky, right? Is that it's like, you're not having this movie be, and it could have been Chris Hemsworth as a finance bro who crashes on this island. And you got a guy who's built like an obvious
I would
action
see
star
Chris Hemsworth
superhero.
and be like, he knows what to do.
Exactly.
Or at least wants to prove his
Hemsworth-
masculinity
Hemsworth also
through
reads
strength.
older. O'Brien
Yeah.
reads like a young
It
guy.
helps that he is young,
Yeah.
that he is younger than her, and he reads even younger than he is. And it also helps that this movie starts and you're like, I don't think this guy's ever done his own laundry. This guy does nothing. And like the world of business has become such that the actual skill any of these people have is like beyond obfuscated. You're like, could any of these guys explain to me what the business they run is? We're constantly being introduced to these like fucking 35-year-old CEOs
They're good in a room.
who have
whatever
raised
the fuck that
$800
means.
million. And then these exposés come out and they're like, they didn't know what the technology was. It never existed. Or someone else made it and they could never explain it, you know? And it's like, these guys are truly just good at performing the role of being disruptors
There was like
of leaders.
a really fun throwaway line. Maybe when he's in the office with Dennis Haysbert, where it's like, we hired a consulting firm to tell us what to do, but they're a consulting firm.
Yes.
So it's like,
Hey, man.
it's just
We're all in the fucking eternal cycle.
yeah.
I make this joke all the time that my continued existence is proof that we have evolved past survival of the fittest, right?
Then the minute push comes to shove, you're out.
That we've
You
created a
gotta
world coddled enough that I'm making it to 37, right? When I should have been eaten by a saber-toothed tiger on day 2, right? And we've like evolved past all these things. And then this is an extreme, like, here is a guy who is an alpha male, who has been the lead, the action star of other movies, who you just immediately like, this guy doesn't fucking know shit. And he's still trying to use the psychological warfare of like the workplace on her, that he thinks while his leg is fucked up, while he is unable to stand up, he can insult her to her face. She has saved his life. He is dependent on her. And he's like, fuck you.
But here is where the movie made it the one choice that I initially was sort of bumping on, which is he's mean to her. She up and leaves, right?
And he's also disgusted. I can't believe I'm fucking here. I'm here with you. I'm next to your
She
shoes.
up and leaves,
Yes.
right? And you're like, right, here we go. The power dynamic has shifted and she's being intense about it. She's gone.
She leaves him alone for like 5 days to teach him a lesson.
But that doesn't happen. That's a fantasy sequence.
That's a fantasy
What?
sequence? No, because
No.
he gets totally sunburned.
But I did not know.
I don't think it's 5 days. I think it's just one day.
Maybe it's
I don't
just
think
one
it's
day.
not long.
She leaves him there though.
She does leave him. Yeah.
Does she?
You see
That's
him.
what I couldn't track.
She does. She does. You
Because
see him-
there's a hard cut to her coming back.
I think he wakes up the next day, basically.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay, I
it's
need
like
to
the
rewatch it, 'cause it
latter
didn't
half
track
of
for
the
me.
day. It's like
it's not a-
sunsets.
yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah.
I know. I understand what happens, but then the way they hard cut to her coming back, it felt like 20 minutes had passed, and the joke was he was obsessing
No.
so
Oh.
bad.
He
No, I
gets
figured-
immensely
yes.
sunburnt, and when he wakes up in that hard cut, he is still that
He's
sunburnt.
got like crusty stuff on his lips.
Yeah.
He's
Mhm.
like,
I need to
yeah.
watch it again clearly, because that was where I was just like, okay, how much am I to trust reality versus fantasy?
The
here?
joke might be that it felt like it was 5 days to him and it was 5 hours to him, but she has left him there and she has proven her point, and he begrudgingly is kind of like, I get it. I can't do this without you.
Because then, of course, right, she's in charge. Everything's nice. Like no one's being mean to each other at this point.
But
right?
he still feels a little bit.
But he's a little grouchy.
and
you know.
he
I'd be
hates that he's in this situation, obviously. And it feels like the most generous he will be is kind of like a concession of, I guess when we're rescued, I have to give her a promotion, right? Like there's this kind of like, I guess I gotta, like he's still thinking about The Office.
Well, he has this mindset of like, this is an irritating thing that is happening to me, but we will, I assume, be picked up soon.
Right.
Right. Like I kind of like, by the way, shouldn't you just like make a fucking bonfire or a sign or something so we can get
He's
picked up
still
faster?
trying to note her on like,
Yes,
what she
right.
should be doing.
And yet she's mommy. She's
Yeah.
feeding him fish. And
Yes.
he's like, that's like such a funny moment
Right.
of him like truly like becoming like a 7-year-old boy
Yeah.
again who
Yes.
doesn't want to eat his vegetables.
We should also mention he has a like statuesque fiance with this giant sparkling diamond engagement ring. I saw this movie in 4DX. The 3D is fucking awesome,
Oh.
especially for those
The ring
Raimi
shots.
special shots. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, there
The
were shots I
close-up-
noticed.
Yeah.
Because there's like a moment where she kind of like flicks her finger at the screen too. Like there were things I
Yep.
noticed where I was like,
this
this feels like 3D.
The whole boar fight. Like,
Right.
this is a movie that, even though I'm trying to get confirmation on this, was not shot in 3D, but was intended for 3D from the beginning by Raimi.
is anything shot in 3D anymore apart from Avatar? Like, does
Not
anything else use that
Really?
like process anymore?
I don't know, but it feels intentionally designed and was like unbelievably well executed.
totally.
And
Totally buy
anytime
that,
the ring shows up, it's like the most 3D can push out of the screen. Like he knows what he's doing. But this character is basically just defined by the shorthand of if you see the sparkle, the glint of the light off of her ring. But yes, he's stuck here with her. And there's this sort of like initial power dynamic imbalance thing of like, he'll kind of concede to her, then she'll do something that pushes him a step too far.
And then he'll be like, you know what? I'll make my own camp. And then you watch him fail at that for
Right.
a day, you know, and as she's just sort of like,
Or he'll make a kind of barbed comment and she'll sort of call out, like, you don't have the status to do that anymore.
And then each time he breaks off, he comes back and she's like made a hat or made a backpack.
She
There's
starts
like
living
continued to like
this
heighten
luxury
and
life.
thrive more
You're like,
and more.
she's like made her own moisturizer.
Okay, so
she has like a
should talk about
bamboo
it.
Stanley
What are
cup.
your favorite McAdams accessory, like nature accessories? Because yes, the cup with the
cup with
straw.
her with Linda written on
Yes,
it is very
is
cute.
very
Well, that's
funny.
the mug, but she also has the big one with the straw.
It's-
Yeah, the
yeah,
big
that
kind of
does
like
feel like a
Stanley
Stanley
Nalgene,
cup.
like it's like a Nalgene.
That is, I want that as like movie promo swag. Like
bet
I
you do.
wish
I bet you
Disney
do.
had been sending those out to people. That's my favorite. The hat is really, really good.
I like that the hat, like it's just like a like it's a
Yes.
full visor where it's missing like the crown of
But-
the head.
right,
But,
like
yeah.
deeply woven
Yeah.
leaves. Her backpack is great.
I love that every time they like make a point of serving a meal, it's like on one of those like sushi boat things.
It's plated.
It's beautifully plated.
like a bed of seaweed.
Right. Like she starts living the kind of like bespoke luxury island resort life.
And well, obviously, you know, the twist is incoming on that front. We kind of know when she makes that discovery, right? Because it's coupled with her seeing the boat, right?
Yes.
In the flashbacks, it puts that
Right.
those two events.
When
kind of-
he's still immobile, she goes off. She finds like a spring where she takes a shower.
This is the moment. Wait, has the boar happened already?
Yeah,
The boar
boar
happens
happens
early.
So the
pretty
boar
early.
is the first moment, right, where you're like, Linda's a little freaky.
Yeah, she says, "I think there's a boar.
I'm
I
gonna
heard
go
a
hunt the
boar. I'm
boar."
going to go hunt
She
it."
makes a spear. She hunts the boar. The boar is scary and large.
The boar is
More than
insane.
she can handle.
It's like a full CGI stylized like the horror. It's like a trauma boar.
right. It's an
And
absurdly large.
It's not dying.
No.
And
right,
it is spraying.
And 4DX,
And
we're
it's-
getting like snot, spittle, blood. Like they're squirting water at you to represent every single
Oh.
fluid. As I said to you guys, it was like William Castle shit. But yeah, she's in this intense fight with the boar that goes on so much longer than you think. As you said, David, she like spears the boar like through its neck, and you're like, that's the end of that sequence. The boar's alive for another 2 minutes.
That's what I just right where the audience is like, we're done. We're not done. Like, you know, that's good Raimi stuff, and the eye gouging out, and you know, all that. So, and then the cut to her covered in blood, dropping the head at his, you know, feet, being like, I kind of dug that,
and dropping the head viscera side facing him.
all over him.
It's like
you know.
he's just seeing the guts of a boar neck.
But then that, you know what looked good?
What?
That boar meat.
It did.
It
That
did look
cooked
good.
And
boar
he
meat?
says this is literally the best meat I've ever had. Yeah.
looked pretty good.
So that, yeah, she goes to take the shower, sees a rescue boat off in the distance, and you see the panic in her eyes of, am I ready to go back yet?
This is where the movie went from a thing I was enjoying to something a little juicier. You know what I mean? Like where I was like, good. Because the whole time I'm watching the movie now, I'm basically like, all right, but what's your ending? Like, is it just them getting rescued? Is it them killing each other? Is it them fucking? Like what? You know, where I'm like, I don't love any of these endings that I'm, you know, these kind of boring endings I'm imagining.
Well, and I was in on the premise of the movie, but the trailer made me think, is this movie going to kind of be like Island Misery? Does it dissolve into...
Which it
like,
has some of that.
Right, but I was like, at a certain point, does the movie just become her torturing her? Which I'm not saying
To him, yeah. To her being
yes,
like, you're not allowed to leave and I'm in charge of you.
Right.
And,
Which I probably would enjoy watching.
And again, it has
Raimi execute
some
with this
of
cast.
That. Yes.
But that's not the bigger story he's telling here.
Right. So she sees a boat, you know, with like a Thai flag, like a rescue boat, essentially, a potential rescue boat. I mean, that's not what it is, but like she can flag it down.
A boat with other humans on it.
We hard cut away.
She almost goes, help. You see
says,
her,
ha!
and then she goes, not yet.
She goes, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we cut back, and all you know is that clearly she didn't get them to rescue her.
Right. And then not long after, she has a knife, like a really nice knife, and she's like,
that washed up on the shore.
Right, washed up on
and
the
it's
shore.
like
you'll never, you wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that washes up
now,
on shore.
I will say, I immediately was like, all right, this is Triangle of Sadness. That there's a fucking, right? Like
I thought there was going to be a hotel.
Yeah, I figured there's something civilized on the island she
I
found.
didn't think that at all. I really believed it.
I
was
didn't
so
the
in
combo
on
of
Linda.
that and then her saying to him like, oh, and don't go over
there, and we don't
it's
see her.
dangerous.
See, I assumed that was just where the boat was
Right.
seen.
But I was like, no, she
But
found something.
there's the big rock X. It looks like a fucking matte painting from Disney's Peter Pan. Like, I love all the cliff stuff, how kind of beautifully artificial it is. You know, a lot of this movie was shot in a real island. Where did they shoot this? Do we know?
Oh, good question. I think they shot it in Thailand. I will
it's
find
set
out.
off
I
of
read Thailand and Australia.
Okay, because there are a fair deal of Australian...
Sydney and Thailand. So yes,
Got it.
like and
but when they go to this cliffside, it's always like it looks like a Johnny Wertmuller Tarzan set. And the background is like beautifully digital, like stylized painterly, of course not. And there's this big rock formation X that she's like, don't go past there. She takes him on a
it's
walk
all
when
thorny, you'll get hurt. Like,
leg
just
is
don't go there.
strong enough, and you kind of pre-establish like this is the tough spot where someone could slip. This is, you don't go past that point. The knife definitely did raise for me something is up, and I'm curious to see how it's going to manifest, and I'm not eager to try to guess ahead.
I wasn't trying to guess too hard, but I certainly was like, okay, like there are twists built in here.
At the very least,
I'm
she
interested.
has a stockpile of modern devices.
Right. That she's sort of building up.
Yeah. They keep, so their relationship continues to evolve. She kind of...
Well, she makes, the next thing is she makes the booze. And they have the drunken bonfire dinner.
Well, the scene where she has the full sushi spread, and he basically comes to her begging, gets on his knees. You know, she's treating him like he's entered her corner office asking for a promotion.
And then she's like, he's like, I will do anything. And she's like, well, yeah, you're going to have to do some favors. And he starts to like undress himself.
Camera pans down to his belt. He lifts his shirt up. He starts undoing it. And she goes like, please, I'm not like you.
Right.
Like the immediate call out of, I would never.
I wouldn't say immediate. She's playing with him a little bit. She lets him do it for a second.
But it's part of the tension of this movie because she has the scene at the beginning where she's talking to the bird. And she's like, he's coming in, and I actually met him at the holiday party.
And he flirted with me
and
a
he
bit.
was pretty handsome, and he flirted with me. There's a feeling of, does she want this guy to desire her?
That's a big tension in the movie, I would say.
How much is that her
She looks
primary
amazing when they're on the island. She's in her like her bra and underwear.
They each
very
have
sensible bra and underwear.
One outfit in this movie that they are reworking in different layers and combinations.
God,
but
if I'm an actor making this movie, I would be every day putting on the same fucking clothes. I would get so annoyed.
That what are they called? Dyeing and weathering. The thing you learned about.
Department of Aging and Dying.
Aging and Dying that you learned about at the Mission Impossible exhibit. This is like a prime example of that movie where you're like, okay, so each character has basically one outfit for 90% of the running time, and there need to be like 100 variations.
Right, we have to be like, this is exactly, this is 100 days.
But also like blood from boar fight, cleaned up post-blood fight, you know? And you can't have one of each stage. You need multiples in case things go wrong. Like this must have been, the costume department had work cut out for them. But I once again would like to argue that her glow up is 90% performance.
Oh, it is. Yeah, she's not like a, mega babe at any point. She's very like utilitarian.
I think
in
she
her,
loses a little bit of weight noticeably, but not like in a crazy way.
I think a lot of it is how she's holding
She has-
tension
But I
in
think
her
she's
face.
sitting
Well,
up
she
straighter.
gets an island glow.
She does.
She does.
Yeah.
She's got that little tan. She's got that. You're
But
right.
I love that she figured out she's using those like coconuts for moisture. She's so moisturized.
Look, Rachel McAdams looks great. She was
She's
able to
got
play
beach
a
waves.
teenager at 26 because she has always looked young for her age. She does not look 46 or 47 now, but she is a rare actress who you can put her on screen and I go, that looks like a real person. At her level of career, she is extraordinarily beautiful, but I'm not watching her face move and
What I said in
going,
my review. I mean, it's the thing with her in Spotlight where you're like,
They put her in khakis,
They
but she
put-
still looks good.
she looks good, but she doesn't look like, Sydney Sweeney in Spotlight being like, I'm just a regular reporter from Boston, where you're like, no, you're not. Like, I don't buy it.
It doesn't look like her pores have been lasered off. It doesn't look like her face has been like Brazil stretched in 1,000 different directions. And it's just like a thing I miss of like, yeah, movies always star beautiful people. That's why we fucking go to the movies.
Is
but
it not good to just see a
it's
big
great,
face?
But increasingly
face?
beautiful people are like, so you want me to not look human anymore. And it limits how many types of roles you can be believable in. And I just think she is someone who is like maintained throughout her career looking like a person while also being, as we have admitted, a goddamn fox.
So at this toilet wine bonfire, they
well acted scene by both of them
yes,
here.
she talks about the fact that she was married previously.
This is such
She
a good
did not
It's a
get
good scene.
divorced.
No.
She is a widow.
scene.
He wasn't very nice to her.
He was not.
There's a great performance moment where she was like, I was divorced. I bet you didn't know that. 10 years. And
Well, she said, I was married, not
sorry. I was married 10 years, bet you didn't know that. And he goes, wow. And she goes like, don't act so surprised. And he says something like, why did you guys split up? And she responds like, he died. Like she doesn't take an emotional beat. It's stated very matter-of-factly.
And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. He wasn't nice to me.
I mean, you know when else she said a great line reading about somebody dying?
What?
Can't remember.
No.
Oh no, he died.
He died.
It remains one of the funniest things ever committed to film.
But her
Yes. Oh no, he died.
her line is
So
something
good.
like, I think he actually wasn't capable of love.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, is she really, this monologue that she does
She would hide the keys.
is unbelievable.
It's
That
actually,
night, she didn't hide the
Right.
keys.
Was she
put 'em
she
on
took the keys
table.
out of her fucking purse
Yeah.
when he was being insane, just being like, you know what, drive off.
And
Let's see
she
what happens.
alludes to some kind of sexual abuse, I think,
It's just
too.
bad, something bad.
Like he crossed the line.
Right. He did
Yeah.
something
he
even
was,
worse.
he was worse than he already had been up until that point. I think it is a deceptively complex scene, both in terms of performance and in writing. It communicates a lot of complicated, murky ideas and sort of like contrasts, and it alludes things in an interesting way where you're coming out of that scene feeling like Dylan O'Brien, not sure what to make of this woman anymore. You know, are you impressed that she's got more grit in her than you thought? Are you a little scared because this feels like the soft pedaling story of something that she did that was perhaps even more?
Right. You are trying to
aggressive?
parse, like, is she almost right?
Does
Is
it make
this
her more
laying
tragic? Like,
groundwork?
what is
Yeah.
the, yeah.
For
She
something
hasn't ever
dark.
said it to anyone before. She's been holding it in.
Hey,
Is
she's on
is
an island,
like
baby.
all of a sudden, like some new part of her is coming out, and it is.
And he
really.
admits that he was physically assaulted,
He-
abused
he
ritually
had
as a child by his mother who had
Bad
anger
mom.
issues,
Right.
who had a bad father, you know, don't feel bad for me. It's a cycle of abuse thing. And she says this, you know, monsters aren't born, they're made. And he starts laughing of like, I am a monster. You fucking kind of got me there. It feels like the first moment that this guy is completely surrendering his like young master of the universe act and being like, yeah, that whole fucking persona sucks, right? I guess I am kind of like a psychopath. And this moment of true bonding for them.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's their nice moment, but then he follows it up, of course, by being like, okay, well, let me make you dinner. And then like, and I do think it's really funny. You know, he poisons her. She starts collapsing and he goes, fuck you, Linda. and gets this shitty raft out.
Oh God,
And tries to flee.
shitty
Right,
little
'cause
raft.
He also says that their camp washed away and they'd have to build a new camp together. And she's like, I guess it was stupid of me to put it so close to the water.
Wait, there's that moment where they have to like undress and like hold each other for body heat.
Yes. But his raft is made out of their camp. It includes her mug with her name on it.
Yeah.
Like he's taking things vindictively. Stuff
Fuck
he
you,
doesn't
Linda.
need for the structure of the raft just to be like, fuck you, I left you there without your stupid mug.
I just think "fuck you, Linda" is really
Yeah,
funny.
and he's just immediately hit by the biggest
Of
fucking
course,
wave.
you can't make it over the bar.
But it is, it's, you think from her perspective, she is like opening up to him and like does start to develop like feelings for him, and then you think that maybe he is too, and then
His
it's like
dinner
no.
She undresses at
So
one point.
good.
She's like kind of ogling him.
Yes.
Yeah, we see his butt, and she's like, ooh.
But
okay.
this is the greatest moment, the greatest
the history of
Raimi
film?
moment.
My goodness.
It is the
Griffin.
greatest Raimi moment in the movie, and
Uh-huh.
it's the moment where I'm just like, oh God, Sam, I've missed you so much. I am so happy you are back. He's drowning in the effects of this wave. She's been poisoned. She's lying on the beach. I'm genuinely doing the math of how does he survive this? He sees a projection of his fiance coming to him in the water to save him, and then she starts puking on him. And we cut to reality, and McAdams has like sort of like come to her senses just enough while poisoned to go into the water and rescue him, but she cannot stop vomiting. And she is performing CPR on him, trying to save his life. And every 20 seconds, she like exorcist style projectile vomits right into his face again.
It's really
this movie
funny.
is really great to see it in a full theater, because my theater was
shrieking.
was
Going
shrieking.
insane.
Yeah. Even
But
my theater
loving
was
it.
shrieking.
Yeah. Oh,
Even
no,
though
they
it
were
was so
loving
gross.
it.
They're like, this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like she does it once and he's still not awake, and you're like, it's gonna keep happening. I know
It's
Raimi,
canonical that she is barfing every 20 seconds.
he's
Like,
gonna do it
yes.
8 times, and he's coming to, and with half wherewithal, he's like, what's this on my face? And then she vomits again. He's still not
It's
conscious
his
enough
fault.
to be able to sit up, and you see him go like, fuck, she's gonna keep vomiting, isn't she?
He gave her the poison berries. I
Yeah.
mean, he was asking for it.
And she just calls out like, you idiot, that's not enough to like kill me.
Right. Just made me
It's
feel
such a
shitty.
childish, insane thing. Because
Fuck you,
also,
Linda.
he could just be like, I want to leave. And she probably would have helped him build the raft
Correct.
properly.
But a guy like this doesn't want to give someone like her any power over him. And that's conceding that he needs her, let alone that he respects her, is more power than he's willing to give. And he once again resents, I'm stuck on an island with a woman with shitty shoes. How is this my fucking life? They keep going back to the shoes. You know, him waking up,
He
she's
doesn't-
wandering
She's got her
barefoot.
like trusty shoes.
or
Like,
orthopedic.
Right,
Yeah, right.
There's something about his giant Rolex. You keep
He never
seeing
takes
it.
off.
He never takes it off.
Yeah. Like it matters.
Yeah.
The Rolex thing always gets to me because they're all like supposed to be for like deep sea diving.
Right.
Yeah. Right. They have all these features that these types of guys are never
They're
going to
never
fucking
gonna use
activate.
it.
Yes.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's so funny. But he wakes up. He's like, we cut to him in the morning, like crying to her in an apology.
yes. He's defeated at this point. I mean,
Yes.
he played his hand and he lost. Like he came
Right.
at the king and he missed.
You're tight on his
the queen,
face.
I should say.
And I thought, oh, Raimi's going to pull back and reveal that he's like tied up, right? Instead, he's free. He's just sitting on the beach and he's like a shell of a man. And she's very calmly like, fucking idiot. I can't believe you did this to me. You didn't even do it well enough. You know, I had to save your ass again. Just don't fucking do that again. We're not in the office anymore. This shit doesn't fucking matter. Right? Like just treating him like a dumb little baby. But like, I'm not going to sink to your level. And then hands him a kebab of like little squid and vegetables. And you're like, oh, she's like choosing to respond.
Oh, I was like, don't eat the squid.
Oh, of course.
Right,
Oh
right,
no,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, that looks really good.
Well, I do love a squid,
I love grilled
in that
squid.
moment, I would not be accepting food from her that I hadn't really inspected. You know what I mean?
It's part of this guy being such a
He's a
dumb
dumbass.
fucking donkey.
I
though.
bought that he would eat the.
Yeah.
and he's
I
hungry.
would have eaten this. I would have.
He takes the one bite. Dylan Brand starts doing a lot of face acting. And she's like, yeah, there's like a toxin in there. It's a numbness. You're not going to feel pain. You're incapacitated for the next like whatever minutes, which is good because you're not going to want to feel this. And she takes out her knife and promises to castrate him.
She's gonna cut
I
his
thought
dick
she
off.
was gonna do it.
I
so
did
you
too.
bought like when the blood spurted because she cuts a rat's head off or whatever.
You think it's a psychological, like just a fucking mind trick thing, and then you hear the sound effects of the knife clearly cutting into flesh and gooey shit and blood spurting everywhere.
She's like, oh, we got to bleed her.
And then it cuts to his face and it's like tears are streaming. He like he's contorting, but he can't really
it's a great moment.
show any reaction.
He's like Nikki and Paulo style frozen.
Yeah.
And all he can communicate with is his eyes without flexing any muscles.
I do not say this to besmirch Sam Raimi because I know Sam Raimi is a dang ass freak. I was like, no, there is no dick cutting allowed in this movie.
David Salinas' husband also was like, because I
it'll
was
lose
like
the audience and it's
squirming
you're
in my
done.
seat.
Right,
He's like, she's not going to cut his dick
I felt
off.
the
She's
same
not
way,
gonna
but
cut
I
his dick
also was like, it feels like he's going there. I thought he was going to bail out on this 30 seconds ago.
I
How is
agree
it
with
still
you,
going this far?
but it's the same to me as the classic thing from Misery of in the book she saws his legs off, and in the movie obviously she just breaks his legs with a hammer.
Yeah, much
and
nicer.
William Goldman wrote the script and wrote in the sawing, and Reiner, rest in peace, the great Rob Reiner, was like, oh, she can't do that. And Goldman, it's in his book. It was like, you're fucking with this great book that I'm adapting and this great script that I wrote. How dare you?
The audience won't recover.
And Reiner was like, no, if she saws his legs up, the audience will lose the movie. And then Goldman sees the movie and he's like, hey, he's absolutely right. What am I, insane? Like, she can't just cut someone's legs off. You can't see that.
Yes. McAdams lifts up a rat that
she beheaded a rat to freak him out.
Yeah, she like gutted it. I'm trying to remember the exact order of events, but then I feel like there's a section of the movie where it actually feels like they have both been leveled off. That for a brief section, it's like they're actually working together and the like power games have maybe been wiped off the board.
Mm-hmm. And then she takes a walk.
She takes a little walk.
And
what does she see off in the horizon?
She sees another. Well, she sees the glint of a large diamond ring.
It's my favorite shit in the world. If a movie can just establish a little bit of visual language so cleanly at the beginning that you can like communicate through a lens flare, a plot point an hour later, right? The audience sees glint and everyone knows what's happening.
Yep, you're right. He made that visual clear to us. Who plays the fiance?
She doesn't have a Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, Adil Ismail is her name. Yeah.
She said that
she's gorgeous. She's Australian.
They'd called the search and rescue operation off, but she never lost hope. So she independently funded her own little boat.
Right, and she's got this kind of like Thai, guide who's clearly helping her out.
Are you on his Wikipedia right now?
Yeah, his Wikipedia is incredible.
So his name is, and
Taneth Warakulnukro.
He's like a Thai music legend.
He's a veteran. This is what Wikipedia says. He is a veteran Thai singer, songwriter, record producer, DJ, and actor. He was also a founder and owner of Music Bugs Company, a record label through which many Thai bands, including Body Slam, Big Ass, La Banoon, and Friday, released their first albums. Do we have to start getting into the Thai rock band Big Ass?
Ben does.
I'm interested.
I would throw on a Big Ass record, maybe. Why not? Let's see what some of their records are called. Not Bad, XL, My World. Yeah, let's do it.
Origins of the name. This is a section on their Wikipedia. The name of your band is a direct quote from Student Weekly publication. The name of your band is a bit naughty. How did you come up with the name Big Ass? Dax, the lead singer, I guess his name is Dax. Actually, when we were students, we used so many different names to book studio time that the owner would get confused if we were the same band. So we wanted to find a unique name to represent our band.
Thank you, Big Ass.
And we didn't want just a normal ass, so we named the band Big Ass.
Now, did you guys think she was going to kill these people?
Yes.
I thought immediately, basically, she has to. The movie has put her in a position where there's...
Because we're getting near the end of the movie, and I'm beginning to wonder. There's no other choice.
This is a really good companion with no other choice, by the way.
I mean,
sort of corporate satires of different flavors.
I think these movies are there's a lot of glib kind of eat the rich cinema made by very wealthy people and big studios, right? Very successful people that feels like it is trying to respond to a moment, but doing so in a facile way. I think we've been a little plagued with that for the last 8 or 9 years, where I'm like, I agree with the sentiment, but it almost feels like a movie arguing, hey, I'm one of the good ones.
I'm cool.
Right, I get it. I hate the rich people too. I'm only worth $50 million, not $500 billion. These movies feel like No Other Choice and Send Help are like actually kind of anthropologically pulling apart what is the rot.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Like, how is the whole culture fed to this moment and these empowered these people and all of that? Zuri just immediately clocks her. Like, Linda remembers her name. Obviously, I'm sure she's been hearing the news.
No, but you're right. She's
God,
nice.
Linda,
I'm so happy you
so
made it.
Happy to see
Right,
you.
it's like
Because they don't automatically know who
No.
survived. I mean, maybe they've recovered bodies, but
Yes.
probably not if they, yeah.
But that's what's so great about this moment is McAdams is like, fuck when she sees a boat. Then she sees the glint. Fuck, this is twice as bad.
Right.
Then
this is-
Zuri's happy to see her. And McAdams is kind of going into like, oh no, he died mode, where you see her doing the math on, I don't know if there's any way out of this other than to kill them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to do it. And the nicer they are, the worse it gets. And Mr. Body Slam, Mr. Bug's music is like, why are you still picking up that fruit? We got tons of fruit on the boat. You don't need to do this. And she's like, well, I like finishing a task. And he's like, leave your backpack there. Who gives a shit? You're being rescued. And she just immediately swings to, I'll take, he's not here. He's this other way. It's a bit of a hike. I'll bring you over to him. And takes them over to the cliff where Dylan O'Brien almost fell to his death. And you basically...
No, she almost fell to
Oh,
her
yes.
death.
And he saved her. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it takes them to the spot, pretends she has to tie her shoe, lets them sort of fall. You see her not saving them, and then it hard cuts to her just walking back.
But you kind of know.
And she just
they're
looks,
not there.
Something fucked up happened.
Yeah, she looks like so traumatized.
Well, she takes a day off, right?
She takes
She's
a sick day. I'm taking a sick day.
I'm done. Yeah.
I'm not doing this camp shit.
Yeah. But at this point, like, everything is broken. Like, obviously, the two of them can't trust each other anymore. She's a heartless murderer. And it's sort of like, I am starting to feel, I'm like, what does Linda want? Right? Like, in this, like, now what Linda achieves is everything. And I really liked that.
Ben's pointing.
Because I was sort of starting to be like, I wonder how, like, she can even kind of get out of this.
It's actually the only way for this movie to end. And I applaud this film for having the courage to run straight towards it.
And it's sort of the Drag Me to Hell thing of like, this is actually about all kinds of reprehensible people. Because Drag Me to Hell, you're like, well, my hero is Alison Lohman. And then as you watch the movie, you're like, but she also kind of deserves what's like, she's not entirely sympathetic. That's interesting.
No, that's the whole brilliance of that movie to me.
And it's sort of the same with Linda, where I'm like, Linda is sympathetic, and I'm like, but she's also somewhat monstrous, and she's in search of what? Like, what does she want? Like, I understand that she wants to be the alpha with him, but what is her longer term goal?
She has always
when someone shows up to rescue her, you know what I mean?
She has always wanted to go on Survivor. I feel like
and she's just done that.
She's really just enjoying island life.
I think she's thriving for maybe the first time in a long time.
She just knows if I get on that boat, I think
it's
all over.
Than that.
Right.
I'm back to my Kathy ass life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Kathy ass is a very good way to
worried about her bird. Who's checking on her bird?
And the bird's called
Sweetie.
Right.
Like, is someone feeding the bird? I did have the thought of like, I hope someone.
She's taking care of Sweetie. I'm certain.
So. Yeah.
I think what she wants ultimately is to feel like she has value. I think Linda's character struggle is she cannot figure out the pathway to that feeling, right? She certainly knows I do all this work at this company and I lived for years off of the kind of quiet acknowledgement of, hey, this whole place would fall apart if it wasn't for you, Linda. Even if she's not paid commiserate to that, even if she's not given the respect and the status within the office, she'll eat and survive off the crumbs that presumably Bruce Campbell gave her. And Survivor is, man, if I could be on camera showing people how pragmatic I am, I can do things. I can start a fire. I keep this together. She wants some sort of sense of like permanent acknowledgement of having value. But she also doesn't want to fucking play the games that everyone plays.
She's not good at those.
In real life.
It's not her forte.
She's down to do Survivor, which is literally a game, right? But she doesn't want to play these games and dress up and do the things to try to like make the relationships. She wants to just believe you can keep your head down and you can do the thing and you can get there. And when Dylan O'Brien is handed the company, it forces her immediately, basically, to start to re-examine, like, those actually aren't the rules of the universe anymore. The people who get
Dog eat
power,
dog.
right, they seize it in a hostile manner and they do anything they can to protect it. And I think, without making too much of a political statement, a thing that I think this movie is getting at that I find interesting is like the hell of the last decade of like the girl boss era that went down in flames. Is there was this feeling of, is progress letting women be as awful as the men who used to run companies, right? That you had all these companies where it was like, here's the new CEO and she's cool and she does things differently and it's a different workplace culture. And anytime one of these companies started getting applauded, you were like T-minus 18 months till expose of this person being a maniac. And you're like, there is a system set up.
Women can be maniacs.
Totally. Where it was like the way to succeed
What's
was
up,
seen
Marie?
as,
Nothing.
I'm sorry, woman can be maniac. The system of is success and power replicating the same broken shit that you used to be the victim of.
I stopped thinking about women and I'm just thinking about Blank Check Productions and I'm just thinking about like I'm just imagining JJ like getting revenge on you guys for firing him all the time.
He doesn't have the guts, and I encourage him to try.
I will say JJ's daughter has been promising to give us what for.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
So
I'm
it's
not
going to
aware
be
of
like
that.
a Kill
Communicated
Bill
to us.
2 scenario or whatever.
JJ has communicated to us
3.
that his young daughter has caught wind of the frequent public firings her father is subjected to, and she feels the need to stand up for his honor.
I feel really bad.
Yeah, that's
I
actually
don't like
really
hearing that.
sad.
That bums me out.
Does she really
No,
think
I'm
that
in like a
canceling the
bit
JJ
way.
fired bit and canceling it.
No!
Bums me out.
In a bit way, like hands on
Is she
hips, like
worried
I'm going
that
to
she's
give
gonna
these
be
guys
like,
a piece of my...
Daddy's
No,
going to
it's
be
not-
homeless and like I'm like
And we're going to be on his home turf.
This
soon.
is the
yeah,
Not
we're
me.
thing. Marie,
though.
Ben, and I are going to visit
we're
JJ.
going to visit JJ.
All right.
I'm just saying his
let's be
daughter-
on guard.
His daughter's going to give us a little, I think, wag the finger.
Well, I'm gonna let her. I hope she knows that I am like JJ. We are both employees of scary bosses.
We're
Griffin,
promoting you
Ben
to CEO.
and David. I've never been a girl boss.
The bosses suck.
Yeah, bosses suck. Sorry, I mean I love you guys.
I'm not a boss.
You're my boss.
Jesus.
You signed my check.
I mean, I don't physically sign a check. That'd be very old fashioned.
Oh,
I approve a sort of a transfer
I want
of money.
everyone to think that like every month you are just handing
I've
me a
got my
giant
little-
like Ed
my little
McMahon
green
check.
visor, and I'm like, balancing the books.
What were those about?
The green visors?
Yeah.
I think
Why?
it's because the lights were quite intense and overhead, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure, I will admit.
I think Linda is doing quick math. It isn't just, I can't go back to my previous life. It's also recognizing the guys who succeed and run the world back on mainland are the people who aren't afraid to do things like this. And very often it's not literally sending someone to their death, but also all those guys on the plane were ready to let her die.
No, totally. I think, look, what I was bumping on before I saw the ending of the movie, because I am like, how's this going to end? Is I was like, this better not be she wants to be with him, right?
Which the movie wrongfoots you.
Right. That's the fear, is that she's like, no, only I can sit. Because I'm like, if I'm her, I'm kind of like, honestly, Bradley is a pain in the ass.
I would have killed him right away.
Right. Tried to poison me. He sucks. He's not very nice. Like, maybe it is time for at least him to get rescued. You know what I mean?
There's also a running bit in this movie, as referenced in the tagline, that he keeps calling her Little Linda from accounting.
Yes, and she's like, strategy and planning.
Right,
Like,
you're the
strategy
fucking
and
boss
planning.
and you don't even know. When he's trying to lay her off at the beginning of the movie or tell her that she's not going to get the promotion, he's like, look, I poured over your resume. I've looked at everything. We're just trying to find the redundancies and weaknesses in this company. And he reveals that he doesn't even fucking know what she does,
now,
which is the ultimate
yeah,
offense to
he
her.
does. Right. He's not thinking about anything except he doesn't want to deal with her anymore.
The
But
like symphonic last 15 or 20 minutes of this movie, he takes a walk on her sick day.
when does she have the fantasy of the beach zombie? because that rocks. Because like I do like that she is not a psycho. She is very guilty that she killed people.
It's during her sick day. It's when she's laying down.
She imagines like finding the corpse, and then the Raimi thing where you're like, oh, is it going to be a corpse?
No,
and then he's like, no, it's not a corpse. And then she pops up behind her.
She imagines her like crawling out of the water alive.
Right.
And then it cuts to zombie.
Like, why did you kill me?
Guy sitting in front of me at the theater was like, oh hell no! When the
hell no indeed.
Yeah.
Next day, Dylan O'Brien takes a walk, sees the hand perfectly posed coming out of the sand.
So funny.
Great image.
Diamond first.
So funny.
No denying it now.
Yeah,
like he can put it all together.
It's all out on the table. And they basically start a they live style fight.
Yep. In like multiple locales.
Yeah.
Right. On the beach, then in the jungle, then at the revealed to be luxury home.
Not only does he discover his fiance's hand sticking out of sand, he discovers that there is a modernist mansion on the island.
No, doesn't that happen next?
It happens, that happens during the fight. Yes.
Well, right. I mean, the first stage is just like knockdown, drag out, fight, ripping pieces of her scalp out. He like sticks
and then
his thumb so deep into her eye.
That was nasty when he took the
really
scalp
good.
off.
It's
really
insane.
Impressive.
And he like tries to drown her in the mud.
You're right.
By the end of this sequence, her face is like half caked in mud. The other side of her face is like has blood tears. Like they've been like stabbing each other, right? He took the knife when she was sleeping. You're sort of like, is this going to end with one of them dying? Is this the final fight to prove who's the victor? And they both run off, and he runs after her and finds the mansion. That there's like an incredible tropical paradise. Like,
well, no, it's more he's running away from her towards the part of the island that she always warned him against. And then that's the reveal.
He thinks he's like discovering something, gets in there. It's just empty, but it's like well maintained. Looks through the cutlery. All the knives are missing. All the other cutlery has the same style as the knife she's been using the whole movie. There's all this incredible fruit that she's been preparing. You immediately see like the pieces that she's been bringing back to base camp and using to be like, I'm just handy. I'm crafty. I know how to survive. Right. And then you hear her voice over the intercom. She's been on top of this house for however long it's been that they've been here. Months?
It's a little unclear, but a while.
But like she's been showering. This has been her paradise. She's rigged up the security system.
Toilet.
She's been using a real toilet. She's been getting real sleep, presumably at certain times, in a real bed. Like all this fucking
air fucking conditioning.
Yeah.
Right?
And now she's doing kind of like mind games, like I have eyes in the sky. I can see you in all the security cameras. You can hear me, but you don't know where I am. And then finally comes down to this like face off in the study where he breaks down crying, and they have this like, it's been about love the entire time, right? We had to fight this hard to get to.
Ugh, it's so sleazy. I don't believe him for a second.
I didn't either. I do think the movie wants you to maybe fall for it for a second. I don't know.
I think what the movie succeeds in doing is pushing the scene in a way Raimi loves to do so far past the point that you expect that you start to go, am I wrong? Am I supposed to take this seriously?
It's right. It's a minute longer, and so you do start to get fooled.
Whether or not I'm buying it, does the movie want me to buy it? Is the movie failing to sell me on this?
No, he just has his the statue horn behind his back.
Right. And she's been holding him at gunpoint with a shotgun the whole time. He uses it to attack her, gets the shotgun, is ready to shoot in her face. You're so fucking stupid. I can't believe you ever thought this. Shotgun empty. I can't believe I was beaten by Linda the accountant. Strategies and planning. The whole thing. She was 87 steps ahead of him.
Yeah,
the entire
strategy and planning.
That's how she beat him.
And then she golf clubs his ass to death.
The thing that she doesn't do, he wants a VP
who can golf.
And she fucking kills his ass with a golf club. Ben, what do we hard cut to?
She's at a golf tournament?
A celebrity golf tournament.
Yes. And even though the famous CEO who survived or whatever.
It looks completely different. It looks so bright and cheery now.
She's got an amazing voluminous ponytail.
Yep.
Tight.
Great
tight pony.
Yeah.
Golf
as Craig Zoller would be jealous. and yes, she's on TV. She's a celebrity.
She's being interviewed.
America loves her.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's the great story.
It's been maybe a year And then since that time, she's made the rounds going on daytime TV shows. She has a book out. She's just like beloved now. And put a damn smile on my face.
I don't remember what her final line is she says to this interviewer. Yeah.
Well, she's going to start writing a send-help book.
Oh, yes. Right. You can't ask. It's a self-help book.
Yeah.
You can't wait for someone else to help you. You got to help yourself.
Yeah. You have to say, no one's going to come and save you. You're going to have to save yourself.
And even though she did some really fucked up shit, and at times I was like not necessarily on Linda's side, in the end, the other characters in this world are so despicable. It's just a reminder of how unfair the world is. You love to see someone like Linda have everything fucking work out, and then she drives off into the sunset in a fucking convertible with Sweetie in the car, riding shotgun.
And what
baby.
does McAdams do?
Oh, she puts on like 80s. I forget what 80s
one way or
song.
another.
She puts on Blondie.
It opens with Blondie. It ends with Blondie.
She's looking at the camera. She's
clocks us.
smiling.
Yeah, and she's like, I did it.
I did it.
She did do it. And I think audiences will walk out happy about that.
There's another winter storm coming this weekend. However, the next 2 weekends are really bleak in the theatrical marketplace.
I think the winter storm that's coming this weekend looks like it's not going to actually be too bad.
Okay.
It better not be. I got a haircut scheduled.
Yes.
So, yeah.
They're projecting this around 15. I think the closer it gets to 20, the happier they are. If it's above 20, this movie's seen as like a total success. I also think our buddy Fantasy,
would be over 20 would be great. I think 15 they'll be fine. Hopefully it does not have the bone temple kind of under 15, which is annoying.
Major bummer. Our buddy Sean Fennessy, who has the burden of hosting a twice weekly topical movie podcast, was spiraling out to us over text last night.
What do I even talk about?
Like, guys, help me. What do I build episodes around? The next 2 weeks are bad.
I mean, they still have years left to draft from. Don't they?
They could start dipping into the 70s and 60s or whatever.
Some of those years we've called dibs on.
I've earmarked one of those years.
But
earmarked more like.
This movie is in a position with good word of mouth to hang in there for a couple weeks. It's opening against Iron Lung, which is a very bizarre modern phenomenon in theatrical movie going. A self-financed, self-produced YouTuber adaptation of an independent video game that is now coming out on like 3,000 screens because of like a call-in campaign of people demanding their local chains play it. And it already has $7 million in pre-sales.
You're not talking. I thought you were talking about Melania for a second, which I'm running a calling.
Very similar stories.
Right. Yeah.
Are you going to have to see it?
No. Luckily, Sophie, my colleague, drew that little. But I did have to watch the Pete Davidson podcast. Okay, so we all have our burdens.
Oh, they made you watch that?
It was for work. Yeah, okay. I didn't watch it for fun.
The important clarification: this whole time I've just thought I was working with a maniac.
Oh no, no. I
thought you did that for fun.
No, I had the great experience though of firing it up, being like, "Gosh, I guess I have to watch it," and then seeing that it was 36 minutes and being like, "Well, at least I'll clear this quick."
They had the Melania bucket at the Regal when I went last night, and I have to say,
there's really. I thought that was a joke.
No, there's really a Melania bucket.
Is it like her hat or something? Like what would it even be?
No, it's just a bucket with a picture of Melania on it.
It's the worst bucket I've ever seen. It is a bucket that just on one side has her in the chair and the other side has like Melania 20 Days to History, Un Film de Brett Ratner or whatever. But structurally, it is like it has less physical integrity than a Solo cup. It is the smallest bucket I have ever seen.
Oh, so you touched it. You felt it. Okay.
It's flimsy. It's like a ripoff. It gives you less popcorn than a large bag would give you.
Wow, that actually makes sense.
Because I was going to say, this all feels thematic.
Yeah, almost always the bucket is an upcharge from getting like the Regal, or whatever,
regular
supersized
large,
paper bucket,
right,
plus plastic bullshit. This gives you less popcorn than that. Anyway, yes, Melania, Iron Lung.
I'm sorry to report that Iron Lung, I just looked up the synopsis and it looks just fucking stupid enough that I actually might
there's like
enjoy it.
They're on a moon, but there's like a blood ocean.
A convict is on a moon in a blood ocean driving a submarine.
I want to see Iron Lung.
I'm curious.
Here's my only thing I'm bumping on.
Yeah.
Runtime 127 minutes.
How long is Send Help?
It's about 110 minutes.
Okay.
It's like it's under 2 hours.
Under 2.
It's 113 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, weird January. I mean, I'm just like, Send Help and Bone Temple alone.
I've seen. Yeah, you're right.
Is this the fucking best dumpuary ever?
It's a strong dumpuary.
These aren't like great movies that a studio was
and then
afraid
you have, like,
of.
Nirvana, the band, the show, and a Gore Verbinski movie. You have Wuthering Heights, which I'm seeing next week, and I confess I'm excited.
I'm a little excited.
Like, just for
against
some fun.
my better judgment, I'm a little excited.
Give me some fun.
There's some good stuff happening, and Send Help and Bone Temple both are deeply January movies.
Sean ignored me, but I was like, I think it's time for you to blow the whistle.
He's got to blow the whistle.
There's a horror movie called Whistle about like there's a whistle you shouldn't blow. I'm in. Now, I've heard that it's the worst horror movie ever made, or from a random tweet that I saw, but I'm just kind of like, I love the idea of like, what's that? Haunted whistle? What happens if you blow it? Bad things. It's like, kind of want to blow it.
David?
What?
But this movie is also a ripoff
of,
I'm going to accuse it of plagiarism. We all remember that in the motion picture Ghostbusters: Afterlife, our favorite character, Podcast, has an Aztec death whistle that looks like a skull that he wears on his belt that he says never to blow because it would conjure spirits.
We all know this.
And of course, that movie, tight as a drum, obeying Chekhov's law, never has a character blow the whistle. That is the only time it is acknowledged.
I must say, I forgot about that.
But it does feel like someone went, why wouldn't this movie blow the fucking whistle? Let's make a whole movie out of the whistle. Whistle. I'm hoping this movie does well. I hope it does
solid.
It holds well, but it's got a low bar to clear for success.
My coworkers are all very interested. They asked me to report if it was like, scary. And I was like, it's not scary. I think it's more of a comedy than it is like
it's not scary, but it has jumps and gore. So if those are things you bump on, I suppose
there's like one jump.
Yeah, there's not. Yeah, you're right. There's really just a couple.
So much fun.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a pleaser.
You'll walk out feeling
people in my audience clapped at the end.
It's so good. And we were, David, you and I were doing a little Monday morning quarterbacking on the Bone Temple box office, and it really feels like it is just a statement about people not really liking 28 years later. Stupid people.
I do think, right, it's a bit of a hangover from that movie confounding people a little bit.
But the movie is so good, and everyone who sees it likes it so much that I think there was the hope that the word of mouth would kind of help boost it past its underwhelming opening day, opening weekend. And it's just really like a complete 2 years from now, if not less, people are going to discover this on Netflix and go like, oh, this fucking rules. And we're going to just be angry that everyone was late to the party at the time where they could have voted with their dollars. Send Help has less pressure on it.
And
it's a lower budget.
Yeah. It's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
I think it'll find an audience. I hope it finds an audience.
And more than anything, I want Raimi like knocking one of these out every 3 years.
That I really want to hear. I want to hear Sam Raimi say, and by the way, I've already got my next project going, and it's this. And if it is Doctor Strange and the Clea's adventures, then okay. But if it is
James
like
Gunn Batman, if there's another $200 million thing he wants to do, fine. But the thing I don't want is him spending 10 years stuck in development hell on shit that doesn't get off the runway. And if he just wants to start directing more of the type of movie he spent most of the 2000s producing, that's great to me. Thumbs up.
I hope the microphone is picking up my thumb.
Do you know where you would place this in your Raimi rankings?
I have it. I can tell you because I put it right there. I have it 10th. That sounds worse than you'd think.
Raimi's got a strong 10.
He's got a very, I had Spider-Man 2, Evil Dead 2, Simple Plan, Evil Dead, Darkman, Quick and the Dead, Spider-Man. So that's your 7 where I'm like, hot. And then I have it in the sort of Drag Me to Hell, Army of Darkness, Send Help. That's a sort of little range for me. Yeah. I have it below Drag Me to Hell and Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
That's where I put it.
Yeah.
And I have it above Doctor Strange 2, The Gift, Spider-Man 3, the much more flawed.
It's firmly above all that stuff.
Right, Crime Wave, Love of the Game.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my Raimi list now.
Oh, wow. I actually did one.
You did a Raimi list?
But I don't know where I'd put. I mean, my top 5 are Spider-Man 1, Simple Plan, Spider-Man 2, Drag Me to Hell, Evil Dead.
I found mine. Evil Dead 2 number 1, then Spider-Man 2, then A Simple Plan, then Evil Dead, then Spider-Man, then Quick and the Dead, Drag Me to Hell, Army of Darkness, Darkman. My question is just, where does Send Help go in that mix? It's definitely below Quick and the Dead, I can't decide
I
where
really like
it
Quick and the
is. Quick and the Dead rules.
That
It
one's
owns.
so fun.
I can't decide where it goes amongst Drag Me to Hell, Army of Darkness, and Darkman. But those are 3 movies I love. And Raimi has delivered another one of those. It also gives him like a kind of unimpeachable 10, in my opinion. Like
It's a very strong, sure.
I had Spider-Man 3 in my number 10 position. And that's a flawed movie that I defend.
Right, totally.
With Send Help in the top 10, I'm like, there are 10 Sam Raimi movies where I just give 2 thumbs up. I hope folks go out to see this movie.
There's a lot going on right now
In the world.
in the world.
It's quite bad.
It's quite bad.
Everyone go out and have fun. And also, resist the terrible things that are happening in the world in any way that you can. Or help your neighbors.
Resist. Show
Help
kindness.
your neighbors.
Fuck
Show
ice.
kindness.
Fuck
Fuck
ice.
ice.
So
Try
hard.
to
Could not fuck
donate
harder. Yeah,
to any kind of cause to help out
absolutely.
all of the fucked up shit that's been going on, specifically in Minnesota.
Look, it's often a sort of silver lining of the crazy production schedule methods and scheduling we have employed on this podcast.
Well, sure, we're rarely recording current-ish.
I get it. Like I will listen to podcasts that are new release or podcasts that I know have been recorded the same week that I'm listening to them. And sometimes, even though I'm looking for a podcast to just give me an escape from reality, the hellscape that we live in, it feels weird if they're not addressing the elephant in the room. And very often we don't have to confront this issue because you're listening to an episode that was recorded fucking 5 years ago. Get ready for April 2026, a month on blank check that was recorded almost entirely in October 2025.
That's true, but you know what? We predict everything perfect. No,
We nail it.
I feel like we are mostly talking about whatever the issues of that moment
So
are.
Hawk Tuah comes back.
A
Of
lot.
course, Becker.
A lot. A good month of podcasting, to be clear.
Yeah, no, great. Ups, great
Hopefully with
ups.
no productions that make us look like idiots. But we had to do some last minute rescheduling to account for a couple things and pull Send Help up to have this episode come out opening weekend. Hopefully, maybe it incentivizes people who are not at risk either from government bullshit or the weather to be able to go out and see this movie opening weekend. But yeah, knowing that we're recording this in the same chunk of time that you're listening, it's tough out there and things are bad.
Love your neighbor, guys.
Love your neighbor.
Get out there.
What if your neighbor's Mr. Wilson, though?
Is that who's that again? Is that
From Home Improvement?
Home Improvement?
Dennis the Menace fucks with Mr.
Oh.
Wilson.
See, like I feel like there's too many Wilsons.
Ben,
out
you knew
there.
what I was saying, right?
No, I thought it was the neighbor from Home Improvement.
Really?
too.
Yeah. What's his name?
Okay, if your
Isn't his name
neighbor
also Wilson?
is Wilson first name from Home Improvement, please show him kindness.
Please take us out, Griffey.
Thank
We're
you all
done.
for listening. Hopefully a fun, silly Sam Raimi movie can be a balm in these difficult times. And thankfully next week, we will give you a respite from the awful world we live in as we need to talk about Kevin. Why is David hiding his face in his hands? Easy movie, easy discussion.
Oh boy. And then at least things brighten up with the next 2 episodes. I'm like, way easier stuff.
Like I said on the Ratcatcher episode, get yourself some ice cream
Get
and
yourself
have
some
it
ice
at
cream.
the ready after you watch
Treat
the movie.
yourself.
Love an
Treat
ice
yourself.
cream.
$2.2 million in previews for Send Help,
Sounds fun.
3.5 for Iron Lung.
Hey man, look, if Iron Lung wants to help save cinemas, that's fine.
If both of these movies open over $15 million, we're in a great position. And the lower Melania opens, the better the position is. Thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. As David said, love your neighbor. As Marie said, stay safe, resist. And as always, please, please, please do not go see Melania. And whatever you do, don't buy that fucking piece of shit bucket.
Blank Check with Griffin and David is hosted by Griffin Newman and David Sims. Our executive producer is me, Ben Hosley. Our creative producer is Marie Barty Salinas. And our associate producer is AJ McKeon. This show is mixed and edited by AJ McKeon and Alan Smithy. Research by JJ Birch. Our theme song is by Lane Montgomery and the Great American Novel, with additional music by Alex Mitchell. Artwork by Joe Bowen, Ollie Moss, and Pat Reynolds. Our production assistant is Minnick. Special thanks to David Cho, Jordan Fish, and Nate Patterson for their production help. Head over to blankcheckpod.com for links to all of the real nerdy shit. Join our Patreon, Blank Check Special Features, for exclusive franchise commentaries and bonus episodes. Follow us on social at Blank Check Pod. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, Checkbook, on Substack. This podcast is created and produced by Blank Check Productions.